Good afternoon and welcome into Bears Field for a little bit of Lenoir-Rhyne softball. Director of Athletic Communications, Jeremy Zalaka, along with me, Joe Smith, bringing you the action this afternoon. And Joe, we're a little so excited today to have opening day. We might be starting this thing a couple minutes early.
They are starting a couple minutes early. And, we waited a little bit longer than it was originally scheduled to open last weekend. And, of course, weather had problems. And these Pfieffer games were supposed to be yesterday.
Yeah.
Got moved to today, so.
A lot of changes, a lot of flexibility in the schedule, but we're finally here on opening day. And an opening day for a baseball or softball person, those two words are probably some of the best you'll ever hear. Always an emotional day, opening day. You get to start a new season, start fresh.
Yeah, and this is a lot of expectation, I guess, for the Lenoir-Rhyne women this year. Of course, they've been on such a run for so many years with head coach Sheena Holler, but got a good core of seniors back with Savannah Moorfield and Kylie Linhart and Talon LeClaire, and some good, solid young players. Lauren Rakes had a good year last year as a freshman, and so pretty exciting lineup and interesting matchup with her former high school coach, Monty Sherrill, who is really a legend in his own right, both high school and has done well since he's gone to Pfieffer. Yeah,
if you want to see head coaching wins, you tuned into the right game. These two have combined for 1,789 wins. 753 of Sherrill's 911 wins have come at the high school level, where he also coached Sheena Holler at the high school ranks at Alexander Central. His first pitch is up high from Morgan Beeler, ball one. And, of course, Coach Holler has 878 wins at the Division II level, most of them right here at Lenoir-Rhyne.
Yeah, we've sure been lucky to have her. She was at Newberry briefly and we were able to get her here at Lenoir-Rhyne, and, boy, has that worked out well for the Bears.
1 ball, 1 strike count. You mentioned the upperclassmen, 3 returning first-team all preseason, all conference selections, and the top 3 batters in the lineup, Lenhart, Moorfield, and LeClaire, but Morgan Beeler in the circle, also a preseason all-conference selection as well for Lenoir-Rhyne, first-teamer.
And she's on a little bit of a streak because the last game before the shutdown last year, she threw a no-hitter.
Yes, you're right.
That doesn't happen very often.
She hasn't given up a hit in nearly a year.
That's right.
As we got a 2 ball, 1 strike count on the opening bat of the game. That one is grounded down to the first baseman. Backhand play is made. Kendall Osborne on the play and retires the leadoff batter for the Falcons.
Pretty good start for Morgan Beeler, and like I said, she was one of 3 pretty solid pitchers for the Bears last year. Lauren Rakes being one, Marianne Clement another. So, good experience on the mound.
Number 2 hole hitter takes strike on the outside corner, says the umpire.
Katie Mickles, left fielder for Pfieffer.
Just trying to pull up the pronunciation guide, and you got it right, Mike. It's Michaels.
Michaels.
I want to make sure we get that one right.
Yes.
And that one's upstairs, and that is not your fault because I did not share with you this pronunciation guide. I'm hoarding it over here.
Change a C to a K and a K to an E, and I'll be fine.
Michaels, a junior pitcher, outfielder for this Pfieffer softball squad.
Starting at left field, at least in game 1. A little outside for Beeler. 2-1. 1 down here. It's early. Top of the first. Bears in the field. Morgan Beeler on the mound.
A little bit of a different Lenoir-Rhyne lineup today. We got some players in some new places. Kylie Lenhart, pretty much her entire career has been behind the plate, but she's off at second base today, making way for Garley Hildebrand, getting her first career start behind the dish.
As a true freshman, so that says something. That's a tough spot to be in, your very first game, true freshman, and of course you got to keep Lenhart's bat in the lineup, and she's just such a good, solid player.
That will be a 5-pitch walk to Michaels, first base runner allowed in this one. And if you're joining us, your clocks are not wrong. We did start a couple minutes early. About 1:55 first pitch, just too fired up to get this one started as third baseman Mackenzie Pinnell steps into the plate. Pinnell, one of the best hitters in the USA South Athletic Conference.
You mentioned USA South, and Pfieffer for so many years was in Division II with Lenoir-Rhyne. We were in the Carolinas Conference together back in the 80s and part of the 90s, and they fairly recently moved to Division III, but still formidable opponent, particularly in softball.
Yeah, this one is near and dear to me, Joe. I spent 5 years at Pfieffer and came here from from Meisenheimer, so this one is tugging on the heartstrings. I know both of these coaches pretty well.
I forgot that that was the move you made.
Yeah.
Many a trip to Pfieffer back in my athletics department days.
Got her looking on the outside corner. Pinnell goes down for the second out of this first inning.
So Beeler comes back a little bit after walking Michaels. Gets Pendle to strike out. 2 down. Michaels on first after the walk.
Missing outside on that one. Reese Davis, not the host of ESPN.
I'm not going to fib. I did do a double take when
first
I read
baseman.
that.
That one is popped down the right field line.
Play.
We have no idea.
Fair. Well, it's fair. That's the one part of the field we can't see from our is the right field corner.
And of course, they found it at the top of the first,
yes.
right?
So a single for Reese Davis, not of ESPN. And runners on first and third, 2 outs, with Sarah Brown, the catcher, coming to the plate.
And we talked. That's the first hit allowed for Morgan Beeler in quite some time. That's right. Pfieffer figured it out.
First and third, 2 outs for Pfieffer. Brown, the catcher, at the plate. Beeler starts off with a strike.
Sarah Brown hit .395 for this Falcon squad a year ago. 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. How about this? 9 walks and just 1 strikeout in 43 at-bats.
Wow.
Can put the ball in play.
Pretty good eye with 1 strikeout.
Ooh, she sends it back our way.
And 9 walks.
Good for a .473 on-base percentage. That'll play.
Yep, that will indeed.
That's probably why she's in the heart of the order for this.
Coach, I can get on base half the time. Okay, you're in.
Yeah, that works. We'll take it. 2 outs, 2 strikes as Morgan Beeler looks to put up a 0 on that scoreboard. That one's going to be a little too far outside. The old Kylie Lenhart's indoctrination to second base. She takes one in the chops. The old try and pretend you're stealing first to get the runner on third home, draw the throw from the catcher, and executed pretty well, except for the old baseball glove in the face.
Yeah, she and Talon LeClaire had probably a little bit different meeting than she was expecting. Talon was expecting.
2 players you can't afford to collide with each other,
especially in the first inning of the first game.
So luckily they shook that one off, and 1-2 pitches on the way from Beeler. Nubbed foul. Nice to see some fans, Joe. We weren't sure if that was going to be a possibility, but we got about 25, 30 family members out here joining us. Yeah. So
a scaled down crowd due to COVID protocols, but still, it's great to see fans absolutely. And actually see a game live. I was pretty excited whenever
double steal attempt, and we got a rundown, and I think. That's going to go as a stolen base, I guess, right? Stolen base at second.
Yeah, that'd be a stolen base at second.
So just how Coach Sherrill wanted to draw that one up, although he doesn't sound like he's too happy with how the outcome is. He got 2 runners in scoring position.
Counts 2-2, 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Reese Davis with the stolen base. One of my favorite names of all time. And it's not going to matter. Going to go down looking. Sarah Brown had 1 KO last year. She's got 1 in her first at bat. As we put up a scoreless top of the first, just 1 hit for Pfieffer, 2 left on, and we will head to the bottom of the first right after this break.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
Welcome back inside. I guess outside. I'm used to saying inside. Shoot for Jim, calling too many basketballs.
Yes.
Outside here at Bears Field. Joe Smith, how many games have you seen out here at Bears Field in your time at Lenoir-Rhyne?
Wow, that would be hard to. That would be
I need
hard
an
to
exact
think back
number,
and
too.
No. The only exact number I know is at one point I worked 100 straight football games.
Okay.
I do remember that.
That's
number.
like a Brett Favre-like streak. When did you start here at Lenoir-Rhyne? Why don't you give a little bit of your background?
Well, I came here as a student in 1981. Started out in Morgan Dorm, finished right over here in Price Village. Started working in athletics in the spring of '83. Worked as a student 83, 84, 84, 85, and got lucky and graduated May of '85. Started working here in June of '85, and other than a couple of years of grad school, I've been at Lenoir-Rhyne ever since. My 32nd year working here.
Laid the groundwork in the sports information department, right?
Well, Rick Strump prior to
That's
me
true.
did,
That's
so
true.
he did
That's
a lot
true.
of that legwork.
That's
I
true.
worked for him as a student. He took the job at Furman, and it
Gotcha.
helped me lead into me getting what was then just the SID job, and that's how I got my start.
Taylor Parrish in the circle for the Pfieffer Falcons, off a 6-1 season a year ago, 40 innings pitched. Struck out 42, just a minuscule 1.04 ERA for Pfieffer. She gets the opening day nod and strike one to Savannah Moorfield, leading off for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Who put up some pretty impressive numbers of her own last year. A 481 batting average led the team, and with 30 runs scored, and just such a great leadoff hitter and make things happen when at the plate and when she gets on base.
Yeah, she's deadly when she gets on base. She's going to cause some havoc on the base paths, whether stealing or coming around to score. 30 runs scored in about 20, what do we have, 24 games? 22 games last year. So we'll take that percentage. 1-1 pitch is fouled down the left field line, off the top of the press box. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that top of the order with Moorfield, Linhart coming up and hitting second, and Taylor Talon LeClaire hitting third is just about as good as you can get, I would say, certainly in the South Atlantic Conference, and probably is close to being in Division II.
Well, ranked 15th in the nation and moved up 1 spot without the benefit
playing
of a game. So,
Oh,
I mean,
we'll take it.
that helps. So, yeah, you definitely these top 3 are up there with the top in the nation as Moorfield does what Moorfield does, running the count full, 3-2, seeing a lot of pitches, letting the team get a good look at Taylor Parrish, the sophomore from Rockingham, North Carolina.
Full count, bottom of the first, as you said. No score. Shows bunt. And draws a walk. So, good way to start. One of your best base runners leads off the first with a walk. And now Kylie Linhart led us in home runs last year with 10, RBIs with 27. She had she put up numbers of her own, hit 420. So she's she can drive in runs, and with Moorfield on the bases in front of her, that causes problems.
Lenhart second in all of NCAA Division II last year with her 10 home runs, just 1 shy of the national leader. Almost a shame, a lot of reasons that last year ended so quickly was a shame, but one was Kylie Linhart and possibility of chasing down that single-season home run record, but she'll have to give it another go this year as she hops ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes.
I would think they wouldn't want to get first and second with no outs, not with Talon LeClaire coming to the plate. So, a little conference between Sarah Brown and Tyson Parrish. Taylor Parrish, excuse me. Sorry about that.
Trying to figure out a way to get that ball back in the strike zone and see if they can figure out a way to get Kylie Linhart out. You mentioned hitting over 400 a season ago. 23 was the single-season home run record. She had 10 about midway point, so she would have had to get hot, but she was in striking distance. But
I'm guessing that could be Cat Rivers.
Yeah, it is Cat Rivers back in 2010. That's
Wow.
why we put you on the broadcast.
What a season that was. Wow.
23. 5 more than anybody else that played out here.
Yeah. She was a really,
and
really
actually,
good player.
how about this one? The number 2 player also played in 2010. Ashley Duckworth hit 18 that season. Top 2 home run hitters in the same year. No coincidence. I think that was a regional year, if not a super regional.
Yeah, I think that was a super regional, and one of the kind of a nemesis over the years, North Georgia ended our season, if I remember correctly.
Well, we can cheat and look out in right center field, and it looks like
That's
2010
right,
is
can.
a super regional, so it's a little cheat sheet out there. But we, as a professor, you don't want to say that word, do you? So
No,
we won't use it.
no.
We'll call it a guide.
3-1 now for
Lenhart foul tipped that one. Moorfield was on the move, trying to swipe it back. Hitters count.
full count now, though. Still no outs. Savannah Moorfield at first. Kylie Lenhart at the plate.
Seeing a lot of pitches here early. Full counts for the first 2 batters. Oh,
Ooh, wow.
That's a rocket. But it is way foul into the parking lot. That might have hit somebody's windshield, hopefully.
I don't know, possibly into the track if it had stayed fair. I don't
Possibly. That was a rocket. You know, we talk about finally having fans here, and somebody might have a broken windshield.
know. Yeah.
Careful what you wish for.
Welcome back. Yeah, exactly.
You got to be careful where you park when Kylie Lenhart's at the plate. We saw her dent a car in the street last year.
Yep.
And that one's going to head to the backstop. So back-to-back walks for the Falcons, and we got something going as Talon LeClaire strides to the plate for the first time in 2021.
And it doesn't get any easier for Taylor Parrish, the pitcher for Pfieffer. Monty Sherrill's going to come out and have a little discussion in the circle. Talon LeClaire, 474 last year, and it's hard to think. She batted 474, but she wasn't the team leader. With Savannah Moorfield batting 481, but led the team in doubles with 7, second in home runs with 7, second in RBIs with 23. So, and plays a good shortstop. She just are quite a few of our players. She's just a good, solid, all-around player.
First team academic All-American as well. Talon LeClaire does everything you want a student athlete to do. So she's been a joy to watch here for her 4 seasons.
And I don't know the details of how all of that's going to work out, and I think players certainly have to make decisions. But I believe with the NCAA rule, as far as eligibility and losing time with COVID, I think players may have options to come back, depending.
Yep.
So
every situation is unique, and it's going to be a nightmare for some compliance departments, and the website might never be right on what somebody's year is, but
there are things I miss about it working in athletics, but there were some days in compliance that I don't miss.
1 ball, no strikes. Already working this pitch count. That's a
Good
rocket.
Gapper.
Left center field. Is that going to get out? It's in the gap.
Hits the bottom of the fence. Moorfield scores, and they're going to hold up Lenhart. And just, I guess, playing it a little bit safe. Of course, the ball got to the fence so fast. It was a pretty easy play out there for, I guess, the left fielder made the play in left center. But rocket shot by Talon LeClaire to get the Bears on the scoreboard up 1-0. Here's still no outs in the bottom of the first.
Frozen rope by Talon LeClaire, and we've seen that plenty over her career, and she picks up where she left off a season ago. You mentioned the leader in doubles. She's already leading the team in doubles this season. And Leanna Sherrill, the third baseman, is going to step in. She takes that one inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Played in 15 games last year. Hit .231. Started 12 games. Did have 9 RBIs.
Oh, we might have a pitching change early. Coach Sherrill's going to the quick hook as we're going to take a quick break on this one, as it looks like, we're going to have a pitching change early. Coach Sherrill's seen enough.
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season, Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
We're back at Bear Field with the pitching change for Pfieffer early in the game. It's the bottom of the first, still no outs. The Bears have scored a run. Savannah Moorfield scoring from second on a double by Talon LeClaire. So as we stand now, 2 men on for the Bears. 2 players on for the Bears. Talon LeClaire at second, Kylie Linhart at third. Leanna Sherrill starting third baseman at the plate. Pitching change for Pfieffer is Ashlyn Kennedy. She's a junior out of New London, North Carolina, just right up the road from right down the road from Pfieffer. So she replaces Taylor Parrish, who did not record an out at this point, has walked 2, given up a run-scoring double, and there's still no outs as the Bears hit in the bottom of the first. Leanna Sherrill to plate. Pitch is high. Ball 1. 2 runners in scoring position for the Bears with LeClaire at second and Linhart at third. So a good opportunity to have a big inning here in the bottom of the first.
Heading to count 3-1. Rocket down the left field line.
Oh, looks like it's foul.
Foul
Boy,
ball.
that was close. That would have easily been 1 and probably 2 runs because the Pfeiffer left fielder was going to have to get into the corner to make that play.
Did you already say who the new pitcher is?
It would not be uncharacteristic of the Bears to put up some numbers here in the first. Outscored their opponents 46-9 in the first inning last year, and in the first 3 innings, 112-26. So they get off to a good start, and you build those leads and get some good pitching, and it's a pretty good combination.
Kennedy gets the pop to short. Sherrill, big out there for Pfeiffer. First out, tough. Big for the Falcons to not allow a run to score, getting that first out.
Yep. Hannah Jennings up now for the Bears. Jennings, a junior out of Marshall, North Carolina, playing at first base today. Pretty nice hole there in right center. That would be nice.
Yeah, the center fielder shaded to the left field side. Takes another step to the left, and we had a bevy of changes there. I think that's Michaels out in center now. Mays to left. Parrish in as the DP possibly. We'll check that next time she comes to bat.
Oh.
Strike on the outside corner, umpire says. Hannah Jennings, the 5'7" junior from Marshall, North Carolina.
A little bit low on that.
2 balls, 1 strike as you count one out, bottom of the first. Lenoir-Rhyne looking to do some damage, second and third for Jennings, the first baseman today. Slapped foul.
Good pitch.
One of the quicker hooks we've seen, Joe. That was Coach Sherrill definitely wasn't seeing what he wanted to see from his starting pitcher.
He
And
did not.
4 batters in, went to the bullpen. Actually, in the middle of the 4th batter, right? 2-0 count. Just missed outside. The Pfieffer bench wanted that one. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and that's a full count to the 3rd batter of this inning, if I'm doing my mental math right.
That is the third full count. So still struggling a little bit for the Pfieffer pitchers. And that's a ball. Bases loaded.
Number 3 of this bottom of the 1st inning. And that's going to bring up number 5, Kendall Osborne, outfielder from Concord, North Carolina. She played her high school ball at Mount Pleasant. And she's getting the nod in left field today.
Started 23 games last year. Had 260, 238.
Good opportunity for your first at-bat of the season to come up with the sacks loaded. Doesn't get much better than that. And a struggling pitching staff that's already issued 3 walks, but they put the first pitch in the perfect spot, and it's no balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, certainly a chance for a big inning, as we mentioned before. And, a hit gets you at least one. And, you'd like to see Tal LeClaire get around and get in on a good, solid hit.
That one missed just a little bit low.
Just a little bit.
One evens the count at 1-1. You mentioned we could have possibly pushed it a little bit aggressive on that Tal LeClaire double, but Coach Holler held Lenhart at 3rd.
It's pretty early, and and you could tell early that their pitcher was struggling, and so maybe be a little bit more cautious there in the 1st inning.
Well, she's got 878 more wins than you and I do, so
yes,
not going to question Coach Holler's strategy.
Yes, she does.
And it's a 2-ball, 1 strike count to Osborne. Hot smash down to 3rd.
Got to run.
Or they did
a little bit of a mistake there by the Bears.
Yep. Bad base running. I'm not sure if she thought that was a line drive in the air, but that ball was on the ground. Kylie Lenhart got a late break, and even though the ball deflected off the 3rd baseman's glove, they still got the force out at home.
Now at bat, designated player number 6, Peyton Bryant.
And that will bring up, for the
Bryant.
first time in her Lenoir-Rhyne career, she could make a memorable first AB, Peyton Bryant, freshman from Claremont, Bunker Hill High School.
Listed as a pitcher, but getting the designated player slot today.
That one is a strike at the knees, inside corner. Good spot for that pitch. Got to give it to Kennedy here, inheriting a tough situation, but she's 1 out away from getting out of it with just 1 run across.
Oh, there's a shot to center, but right at the center fielder. There, shaded a little bit to right field, and so Peyton Bryant flies out to center. The Bears get a run. Had an opportunity maybe to get another run or 2 there, but stake to a 1-0 lead as we end the 1st inning.
I love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found an expert for my heart.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we are back out here at Bears Field. Top of the second inning.
Kendra Mays, I think, should be the leadoff hitter here for Pfieffer.
Sure is the number 6 hitter in Monty Sherrill's lineup. Veda Blue Sherrill takes the first base coaching job spot. An All-American in her own right. Daughter of Monty Sherrill, one of 3. All 3 went to Pfieffer, as did Coach Sherrill. Played baseball there.
Mm-hmm. Kendra was the designated player in the original lineup card, but they did make some moves, not just changing pitcher.
Right.
The pitcher came in from the outfield,
Yep.
so some players are in different spots. Then we're trying to get that sorted out.
Little
when
merry-go-round,
that
but
started.
I think she's in left right now. At least that's what we got. We'll see where she goes to start the bottom of the second, but 1 ball, 1 strike for Morgan Beeler.
A little bit high for Morgan. There's 2-1 count.
First meeting between Lenoir-Rhyne and Pfieffer since the 2017 season. Lenoir-Rhyne owns a 49-13 advantage in this head-to-head series, which included probably in your time a 32-game winning streak.
At least part of my time, yeah. So good run there, but Coach Sherrill's done a good job getting Pfieffer.
Yep.
Certainly very, very competitive.
The first matchup in this series, Joe Smith was a freshman walking these hallways, 1981.
Yes.
There's a strikeout for Beeler. First matchup, Pfieffer, 9-2 win.
That was back in the old slow pitch days. We played right here on this field, though.
That's an interesting fact, too, that Lenoir-Rhyne softball since day one has been played right out here at Bears Field.
Mm-hmm. Certainly a lot of nice improvements over time, and Coach Holler's just put so much heart and soul into Lenoir-Rhyne softball, and the university's reaped great benefits
Sure
from that.
has. These two coaches are awfully similar, where they just are going to roll up their sleeves and a lot of elbow grease to build their program, whether it's on the field or the field in general.
It's like it might be out of play.
This is the first time we broadcast field level, and we have some growing pains down the right field line. We got no idea where the ball's going, but that's okay.
I'm guessing that's due to distancing and COVID.
Yep. Just trying to be smart and stay safe. But anything down the right field line, you guys are on your own at home.
Yes. In fact, if you want to text us and tell us what's going on in the right field corner, that would be great.
And the stream is like a 7-second delay from when we watch it, so it's not even like we can watch that and see what's happening. So we'll figure it out. Just based on the player's reaction, right? We can figure out what happened.
A little bit low for Beeler. Beeler got through the first inning, did have 2 strikeouts, but did walk a batter and gave up a single. So, good start, but maybe try to settle in a little bit here in the second.
Yeah, I'd like to find a little bit of a groove. 3 strikeouts of her 4 outs for Beeler. Dominating early.
Ooh.
Little bit low.
A little bit low.
3 balls, 1 strike. You mentioned this was a reschedule, but this was actually a late addition to the schedule to begin with.
Well,
I think
that's
this
true.
game got added.
It got added, then got rescheduled.
Right, added late and then rescheduled. Some bad weather as that one goes behind us. Some bad weather here yesterday, and that made contact with something behind us. I'm not sure in the facilities area what that hit, but it hit something.
Oh, looks like it hit the transformer box there.
Oh, that's good. That's comforting.
Not a windshield. Or a person.
Full count on this one. But Pfieffer, this is the season opener for the Falcons as well.
It'll be foul again.
I was chatting with Coach Sherrill prior to the game, and they hadn't been able to practice only since February 2nd. And with the weather out there, they haven't had much field time, so he was a little worried about the rust and lack of time on the field. And so far, not too shabby. I mean, not a great first inning for Pfieffer, from the pitching staff anyways, but just a 1-run deficit.
Full count to Addison York, and that looks low, and York draws a walk from Morgan Beeler. So leadoff runner, well, no, excuse me, not leadoff runner, there's one out.
Now at bat, shortstop, number 10, Kendall Ward.
The second leadoff batter, I think.
Yes. So Addison York at first and Kendall Warren shortstop for Pfieffer at the plate. One out. Bears lead 1-0 here in the top of the second.
Appreciate you joining us on the Bears Sports Network, presented by NBA Roofing. That one's going to catch the outside corner.
Well, it's just I think about just what my life in athletics was, and for you and Justin and everybody to have to go through basically an entire sports year in one semester.
Right.
It's just, I know a lot of my students are trying to help out with some game day operations and that sort of thing. So,
and that's why we brought you back and dusted you off out of the club.
Certainly don't mind pitching in.
And we appreciate you, Joe. And sure you'll bring a lot of the softball action throughout the year, maybe a little baseball.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. Here's some breaking news. Late, I know you're shocked, but there's a schedule change. We've had a bunch of those, and it looks like Lenoir-Rhyne is going to host Flagler tomorrow. So still trying to iron out the details. A late edition here from Flagler making a trip. It was supposed to play Queens and Newberry Saturday, Sunday, but the Queens game is off, and I guess we're bumping into the schedule. So maybe some Saturday afternoon softball here at Bears Field against.
Well, I know the young ladies were anxious to play, and anytime you just want your season to start, and as the days clip by and there's bad weather and stuff, you get anxious. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad they're able to fit in Pfieffer here today, and hopefully Flagler tomorrow.
Yeah, they waited a long time to get back to playing softball, and then had to wait some more.
Yep. 1-2 the count, one out. Beeler gets a swing and a miss for her fourth strikeout.
Good job by Hildebrand to hang on to that foul tip.
And 2 down here in the top of the second. Runner on first, that's Addison York for Pfieffer. Beeler now with 4 strikeouts in the first inning and 2/3. So off to a good start from that standpoint.
And the number 9 hole hitter, second baseman Paige Love, and with Valentine's Day just in the rearview mirror, great name, Paige Love. Strides in, takes strike one.
Be nice for Beeler if she could get Love and not see that leadoff hitter.
Right. But she drilled her.
Kennedy until, well, that's...
so that takes care of that.
That takes care of that. So that takes us back to the top of the order. Ashlyn Kennedy for Pfieffer started in center field, now has moved into the pitcher circle for the Falcons. Early pitching change for Coach Sherrill of Pfieffer.
A little bit of a merry-go-round, right? Center field to pitcher, left field to center field, designated player to left field. But I think we got all the substitutions sorted out. Knock the old rust off the stats players, the stats people too. Get them right back in the action. And that one's going to get away from Hildebrand. Not sure if that one was in the dirt or not, but not sure if they'll rule a wild pitch or a pass ball, but second and third, 2 runners in scoring position for the Falcons.
It looked low, but we're shielded somewhat with the brick wall. So heads up base running on Pfieffer, but now all of a sudden Beeler, as well as she's pitched so far, has had a little bit of control problem. 2 walks, hit a batter, but 2 runners in scoring position for Pfieffer. Infield gathers in the circle. No visit from Coach Holler, so she probably let her seniors take care of that conversation.
Kennedy was 16 of 34 at the dish a year ago with a double, 8 RBI, 16 walks, a 630 on base percentage.
That's pretty nice for your leadoff hitter.
As this Pfieffer team just stormed through the USA South a season ago.
Pitch low. Oh, wow, kind of a late call. It looked like maybe it was low, and he called a strike.
Delayed call.
1-1 now on Kennedy. Runners on second and third for Pfieffer. We're in the top of the second. Bears lead 1-0.
It's a Pfieffer squad. 1 loss last year.
Nice
that one's
pitch.
Going to be in there. 16-1 a season ago. Didn't get any conference games in with the shutdown early.
When I have a lot of our athletes in class, typically, and some of those spring athletes, just so much disappointment last year when things got shut down, and seniors not sure what they were going to do afterwards. Ooh, ball goes to 2-2.
2-2. So these two
On
teams
Kennedy
combined for a 36-5 mark a season ago. Two of the top in the area.
Strong. We got two of the top coaches. You're going to have good records.
Just two teams that play the game the right way, do all the little things. As that one smoked on the line.
Off the first baseman's glove. Looks like it's at least a double. Kennedy's trying for third, and she's going to get there. 2-run double for Ashlyn Kennedy, Pfieffer, and the Falcons with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Take a 2-1 lead.
Smoked that ball down the right field line. First baseman Hannah Jennings got a tip of the glove on it, but couldn't snatch it, and it's a early lead for these Pfieffer Falcons on the first hit of the ball game. So you mentioned those walks always can come back to hurt you. 3 walks in the game for Morgan Beeler. The Bears weren't able to capitalize off the 2 walks in the bottom of the first. Pfieffer does in the top of the second to take that 2-1 lead. A 2-out RBI, always a big momentum swing. And you forget the fact that there was a hit by pitch in there too.
All right.
So
good comeback pitch for Morgan there to start against Katie Michaels.
Jumping ahead in that count early. Big swing in the batting average when you're ahead of the count as opposed to below, and that one's going to be called inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Michaels, we believe, is in center field now after the little shuffle of the lineup. That one is low, 2-1.
A little bit low. So we're 2 outs here, top of the second. A triple by Ashlyn Kennedy of Pfieffer drives in 2 runs, and the Pfieffer Falcons lead the Bears 2-1.
Well, Joe Smith in his prophecy said that you didn't want to face that number 1 batter in the lineup, right? You want to get the number 9 hitter out, and sure enough,
comes back to get you.
He knows what he's talking about, folks.
I have my moments.
That was your Tony Romo moment right there, right?
Wish there were more of them.
2 balls, 2 strikes, a foul bat.
Going to get a couple of new balls in for. Oh, there we go. Beeler has a chance to stem the tide here a little bit and get out with only the 2 runs. 2-2 count. 2 outs.
Poked. Foul. Making her work out there is Michaels. Spoiling a couple pitches, keeping that count 2-2, 2 outs. 2 runs on 2 hits for Pfieffer.
Pfeiffer's gone up. They've had a good eye on some, at the plate. 2 walks already, and they're swinging pretty aggressively.
And we got another full count. Michael's doing a good job working this count. Fouling off the bad pitches, letting the balls go, and she's got a 3-2 count, and she's going to take ball 4.
Second walk for Michaels. She walked in the first inning, so a little bit of trouble for Morgan. Coach Holler's going to take a walk out to the circle.
Kind of a mixed bag out there for Morgan Beeler, the sophomore in her first start of the season. 4 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3, but 3 walks and a hit batter, and a pair of runs crossed. So the good and the bad so far.
Early in the game, sure, Coach Holler's just trying to settle things in a little bit.
Pfeiffer 2 for 3 with hitting with 2 outs. Big stat in baseball. 2 for 5 with runners on base. So taking advantage of these early opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And a 2-1 lead for that. The Division III Pfieffer Falcons playing up a division, but they're Division III in Division 3 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 in Division 3
good solid squad. We talk about Morgan Beeler being a sophomore, but with that season cut short last year, and she didn't. I think she only pitched 6 or 7 games, something like that, and so really didn't get a full season in. So still pretty young.
Yep.
Pretty young in her career.
Good point there. The Bears only played 24 games last season.
All a little bit on the outsides.
Pinella, dangerous hitter, was the Conference Carolinas Freshman of the Year before the transition to the USA South.
Morgan was able to get her on a strikeout looking in the first innings, and maybe she can come back and get that. That's a
smoked
hopefully
but foul.
Wow. It was
could have put a good swing on that one.
Similar to Kylie Linhart's foul ball, but it's out there.
Good swing on it, but just goes down as a strike in the stats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pinnell's not going to get herself out. Going to have to earn this out. Is Morgan Beeler going to have to figure out a way to get out of this one? First and third. 2 runs already in this top of the second for Pfieffer. That one is upstairs. Pinnell from Taylorsville, Alexander Central. Played for Monty Sherrill in high school before Coach Sherrill took the Pfieffer job. Took her along with him. That one is drilled into right center, but
looks like
Moorfield's got a beat on it.
And a Moorfield, so Bears get the third out of the second inning, but damage done is Pfieffer on a 2-run triple by Ashlyn Kennedy takes a 2-1 lead, and we go into the bottom of the second. Pfieffer leading Lenoir-Rhyne 2-1.
Great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student-athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student-athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student-athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Welcome back, and we head into the bottom of the second. Where my pitch heads to the backstop. Always love to see that. 2-1, this Pfieffer squad is leading Lenoir-Rhyne. And we are towards the bottom of this Lenoir-Rhyne lineup. Leading off is Kaylee Travis, the right fielder. Going to step in as throw down to second base. Scurries into center field, so going to delay this one a little bit as Travis strides in.
Travis only played 9 games in the shortened 2020 season, but did hit 400 in limited action. 6 hits on 15 at-bats, scored 5 runs.
Most of her action a year ago came at second base, but she's getting a nod in right field, and I want to say it's her first career start in the outfield at Lenoir-Rhyne. A little delay in this one. Gets her whole walk-up song to play, so I'm sure she's happy about that.
That's been a transition from my early days in athletics.
Yep, I'm sure. That one's upstairs. Back when you were out here, I'm sure it was probably a scoreboard and a statistician, maybe? Is that it?
A lot of times when I was SID, I had maybe one helper, and I was also working in the public relations department. So we did a half-hour TV show every week, and we did the alumni magazine, and I was doing brochures for nursing and campus photography. So it was a little bit different setup.
A little bit of everything.
A lot of the spring stuff we sort of relied on team scorebooks.
Sure. Travis with
nice
a rocket.
Shot. And that's going to be out of here.
Gone for Kaylee Travis. Left center field.
Wow, there wasn't really any doubt for that one. Wow.
First AB of the season is memorable for Kaylee Travis as she gets a fist bump from Coach Holler around third and greets her teammates in the dugout. Ties it up at 2 with a shot to left center.
Nice, just patient, got a good pitch and got all of it, and gets the Bears a little energy. I'm excited about watching the Braves. We're not watching
not baseball season yet.
No, we're not playing Pembroke. So Kaylee Travis, leadoff home run here in the bottom of the second to tie the score. Bears 2, Pfieffer 2. No outs. Garley Hildebrand, freshman out of East Burke High School, Conley Springs. Her first career game as a Lenoir-Rhyne Bear. Starting at catcher, as you mentioned earlier. Typically might see Kaylee Linhart behind the plate, but Hildebrand starting her first game and Linhart playing at second base.
And it's her first career at bat for Garley. The number 9 hole hitter. Probably tough to regain your composure in the circle when you give up a rocket like that one, but you got to just turn the page, right?
Yeah, you can't let those linger. That can end up being a downfall.
So we're all even, 2-2. 2 hits for each squad. 3-0 count.
You know, and really none of the three have been that questionable, so
right.
Kennedy needs to settle down a little bit on the hill for the Falcons.
Couple, looks like a little early season rust for both of these squads, especially in the circles. As that's another walk.
4-pitch walk for Hildebrand as the Bears have a runner on first. And top of the order, Savannah Moorfield.
7 combined walks in this one as we're just in the bottom of the second. And it's the third mound visit between Cheryl and Holler, head coaches to the mound. So trying to get these pitchers settled in, getting them knocked the rust off. First game for each team, as we mentioned, and it's a little deeper in the season than you're normally accustomed to seeing opening day. February 19th, a great day, though.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
No song needed. You don't need to sing.
We don't need to do the Beatles song?
We don't need to sing it.
I could sing. Well, no, we'd lose listenership. I'm sure.
We're at a good spot right now. They don't have anywhere. They can't come and watch it, though. Only about 25, 30 in here. So you're forced to listen to us the rest of the way.
Yeah,
but we'll cut the singing.
But happy birthday to Jeremy anyway.
Appreciate it.
Moorfield walked and scored in the first off of the double from Talon LeClaire. Of course, you know, Savannah puts pressure on the team anyway when she's at the plate, but now with a runner on first, you know, nice opportunity for her.
That one misses downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grounded to short. It's going to be a tough play, but they get the force. Knocked it down. A good play.
Clean play. I don't know. Do you get Moorfield at first? She's such a good base runner, maybe, but certainly the bobble there. Get the lead runner on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, Warren, some good play there from the sophomore. She knocked it down, kept her composure, just got the force at second, take the 1 out. And Lenhart going to come in here.
So, interesting that the Travis home run here to lead off the bottom of the second inning might be only the third longest ball hit today.
And there's still time, right?
Yeah, Lenhart hit a foul out of the park back in the first inning that went a long way.
She is the reason. I tweeted this last year. Kylie Lenhart is the reason I walk to softball games. I am not bringing my car out here anywhere near where she's swinging. As that one's grounded.
And, tough play for the shortstop. Lets the ball roll, gets the ball into left field, and Lenhart on with hit or an error. I'm not in that business anymore. I'm gonna call it a hit because I'm a
They don't yell at
I'm
you,
a home
right?
team.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call it a hit until I'm told otherwise. So
Try to make a diving play. You kind of give her the credit on that one for having to make a tough play. And Savannah Moorfield on the base pass, but the official score is going to make it an error. So what do we know over here, right?
yeah, well,
Could have gone either way on that one. I can see an argument from each side.
regardless, runners on first and second. Moorfield on second, Lenoir on first, and Talon LeClaire at the plate. She drove in a run in the first inning with a double, got Moorfield around, and Bears stranded a couple after that.
Second time that Leclerc's come up with 2 runners on. That's not a recipe for success for Pfieffer, as that one's grounded down to first. They're going to get the force at second.
Pretty headsy play there by the first baseman for Pfieffer. Your favorite, Reese Davis.
Tricky
Good
play
job.
there too, right? With the base runner and the baseline right there. You got to make the right throw, an accurate throw, and she did that. Reese Davis.
Would have been easy to just step on the bag, but then you got 2 runners in scoring position. So she did. She took a runner out of scoring position. Bears still have 2 on with LeClaire at first on a fielder's choice. Savannah Moorfield on third, 2 outs. Game tied at 2. Kaylee Travis tying the score for the Bears with a leadoff home run here in the bottom of the second.
No balls, 1 strike to the right-handed hitter. Ball downstairs. The wind picks up. You could probably hear it in our microphone.
Yeah.
Getting a little windy out here, but not too bad. Not a bad day altogether. We saw the weather reports earlier this week. Looked pretty chilly, but honestly, the sun's out. Can't complain, right?
No, it's just good to be outside watching softball.
Happy to be back and glad you could join us today on the Bear Sports Network, presented by MBA Roofing. As that one misses up and away, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Changed speeds on that pitch a little bit. Got a little bit away from her up and outside.
Kennedy bats left, throws right. We saw her use that bat with a triple. And that one's fouled off, so she's deadly at the plate and pretty versatile in the field. We've seen her in center field and in the circle already, and it's only the second inning, so who knows where she'll be next.
2-2 count on Leanna Sherrill. Popped up to the shortstop in the first inning, looking to try to get a runner in for the Bears. Moorfield at third. Talon LeClaire at first.
She definitely has some pop in her bat, does Sherrill. That one's low. 5 homers as a freshman.
And full count here to Sherrill.
Maybe we should just start with a full count, Joe, and move this thing along.
Well, you mentioned it's been a long 2 innings, and well, Kennedy got her, made a headsy call there just in case, had her tag the runner. And the Bears go down, tying the score at 2 on a leadoff home run by Kaylee Travis. But a strikeout of Leanna Sherrill ends the second inning. Bears and Falcons tied at 2.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
And welcome back as we go to the top of the third inning. Lenoir-Rhyne softball season opener for both teams as they face off against the Pfieffer Falcons. Scores tied at 2. Bears scored a run in the first, left a couple of runners on. Double by Talon LeClaire. Scored Savannah Moorfield. Pfieffer came back in the top of the second to get 2 runs on a triple by Ashlyn Kennedy. And then the Bears tied up in the bottom of the second on a leadoff home run by Kaylee Travis. So we begin the third. Morgan Beeler back on the mound for the Bears. And you may have heard that in the background. The leadoff hitter for Pfieffer, first baseman Reese Davis.
Host of College Game Day.
Graduate of University of Alabama.
There you go.
Which I have some history there.
Ball 1 to Davis, the cleanup hitter for the Falcons. 4, 5, 6 in the lineup, due up.
Singled in the first inning. Davis did. A little bit inside from Morgan Beeler. Pretty good start for Morgan in the first, couple of Ks. Did have a walk and gave up a hit, but got popped around a little bit in the second. Walks came back to Herder, hit a walk, hit a batter, and then gave up the triple to Ashlyn Kennedy. 2-1 to count to Davis. Score tied at 2. Bears and the Falcons.
7 combined walks in the first 2 innings. These pitchers been working a little bit.
Seem destined for maybe the lights tonight.
I'm not sure if. Oh, that one's going to be an airmailed. So that's a throwing error by Leanna Sherrill. She made the play, came up with a good strong throw, but a little high and
must not have gone too far. We can't see down the right field line, but the runner did not advance from first. So Reese Davis on first on an E5. And Sarah Brown, the catcher, struck out her first time up, comes to the plate, tries to see if Pfieffer can get something going here in the top of the third.
Yeah, you forget that it's been quite a while since these teams actually saw some live competition, so some rust to be expected, as Lenoir-Rhyne's last game was March 11th back in 2020, so almost a calendar year, which is incredible to think of. That it was
just
that
a
long.
Totally bizarre span of time since then. It's just been, it's been devastating for a lot of people, and it's just, just can't imagine something like this happening. Sure. But at least we're back on the field today, and there's some fans out here watching, and good opportunity, and glad to see the players get back where they want to be.
Little sense of normalcy anyways. Still a little ways to go, but nice to be back out here. And that one's a swing and a miss. Sarah Brown goes down swinging. Another strikeout for Morgan Beeler, number 5 on the day.
Yeah. And the second for Sarah Brown.
Mays stepping in, the left fielder. Calls for time. Beeler's trying to get the signal from freshman Garley Hildebrand.
So throwing error, has a Pfeiffer runner on first, but 1 out now as Mays takes a ball. Game tied at 2. Beeler checks pitch. It's like an opportunity, and just missed it, but it was definitely an out in front of the Lenoir-Rhyne dugout. So Hannah Jennings catching the foul ball and gets 2 outs for the Bears.
Should be out of the inning of this one quick, but throwing error makes you have to get a 4th out in this one. Sometimes can be dangerous, but Beeler trying to get out of it unscathed in the top of the third.
Addison York at the plate. She walked and was able to score on the Ashlyn Kennedy triple in the top of the second. Nice pitch by Morgan Beeler. It's head in the count.
Now, we talked about how the weather's nice now, but I'm not sure I can handle a night game out here, Joe. I think that'll change quick when that sun goes down.
I brought a blanket.
Swing and a miss.
So I'm prepared.
Strike. In the next inning, because we're in 0-2 here, you might have to tell us a little bit about this short streak that you've got. The man refuses to wear long pants.
It started off as just, I don't know, and now it's turned into something out of control. I don't know.
Cal Ripken-like streak.
Swinging. I wouldn't go that far. But.
Maybe. We got time. Strike 3, Beeler. 6 Ks on the afternoon, and we will head to the bottom of the third, all locked up, 2 apiece.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Bottom of the third here at Bears Field. 2 apiece, 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Actually, we got the same line score, top and bottom. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Bears. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Falcons as we head to the bottom of the third. And leading off for the Bears is first baseman Hannah Jennings. As Coach Holler throws on a jacket, even she needs to get warmer. Keep that, that waving arm fresh, right?
That's right.
Keep it warmed up. You got to send them home. You can't be cold.
Go on the injury list, sending somebody home in the first game.
A labrum. Left-handed hitting. Hannah Jennings takes ball 1 low.
Ashlyn Kennedy still on the mound for Pfieffer. A pitching change in the first inning for Monty Sherrill's Falcons, and Jennings has come in, and other than the leadoff home run to Kaylee Travis there in the second inning, has really kind of settled things in for Pfieffer.
Chopper to first, and that's going to be handled over there by Davis. 1 batter, 1 out. Parrish, the original starting pitcher for Pfieffer, and her line isn't going to look so hot. She ended up not getting an out in this one. Charged with the earned run, 2 walks, and 1 hit, so all 3 batters she faced reach base, but Kennedy's come in and settled it down.
Kendall Osborne up for Lenoir-Rhyne, hit into a fielder's choice in the first.
Ripped that one, but down the line foul. Couple inches.
Osborne, a junior from Concord, North Carolina, Mount Pleasant High School.
Same spot.
Yeah, really.
Same spot, but foul. She's trying for a double. And I think Mackenzie Pinnell there is going to shift probably a step or 2 to her right. Take away the line. No balls, 2 strikes.
That was one of the first things I noticed when I started watching fast pitch. You weren't, if you grew up around here, you lived in this area your whole life, you grew up with slow pitch, and so when I started watching fast pitch, the third base is one of the first things that caught my eye.
Sure.
The third baseman plays up in front of the bag a lot of the time, and just the speed with which the ball gets there, it's a tough spot, and truly they call it the hot corner for a reason, and certainly fast pitch softball it is.
You can't be too comfortable down there. Can't get caught on your heels. Hit some rockets there. That ball gets on you quick. Need one of your better defenders there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got her with a changeup.
Pull the string there.
Got her out in front. Good change of pace. And the first 2 batters retired by Kennedy.
So 2 outs, nobody on for the Bears. Peyton Bryant, freshman from Bunker Hill High School, comes to the plate. Flying out to center. Good poke in her first at bat, but fly out to center. So she'll be trying to get her first collegiate hit here.
Check swing, and they're going to rule that one inside. Just missed, ball 1. Getting ahead of that count is Bryant. Sun pokes back out behind the clouds. That
Another
one's hit
poke,
hard.
and that one's going to be in the gap. So to the fence for Peyton Bryant. She's going to try to stretch it to 2 and safe. So Peyton Bryant, her first collegiate hit is a double with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
Bottom of the lineup is causing some problems for this Pfieffer pitching staff.
Well, and one problem was Kaylee Travis's leadoff home run in the bottom of the second. So we'll see if she can duplicate that. Runner in scoring position, Peyton Bryant. After that double, 2 outs, Bears have a opportunity to get a run here.
All 3 of Lenoir-Rhyne's hits have been of the extra base variety, 2 doubles and a homer. And
it might be a tough play. Looks like the second baseman may get there, and the Pfeiffer running off the field indicates that they did.
Yes. We have no idea, but we're guessing she caught it. So
we're not trying to be sarcastic, but from our angle, we can't really see down the right field line very well. So, Babes, the Bears get a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, but pop up to the second baseman by Kaylee Travis ends the inning, and Bears and Falcons remain tied at 2.
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
through 3 innings here at Bears Field, 2-2, as Lenoir-Rhyne, 15th ranked in all of Division II, hosts Pfeiffer on this opening day.
Morgan Baylor still on the.
A little bit for error on Joe Smith. Put it in the book. Kendall Warren, the shortstop, strides in. She's going to take a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. The sophomore from Lenoir. Monty Sherrill swiped one. Ball down low.
Here in the top of the 4th, Beeler 3 innings pitch, only giving up the 1 hit, but it was a 2-run triple to Ashlyn Kennedy. Does have 6 strikeouts, but also 3 walks and a hit batsman. So sort of a feast or famine kind of an outing so far from Morgan Beeler. Outside, count runs full.
Put that one on recording. Count runs full. Just hit play next time.
We've had a few of those.
Top half of the 4th inning for Pfeiffer. And that's going to be...
It's going to be a walk for Kendall Warren.
Leadoff runner on.
Now at bat, second baseman, number 30, Paige Love.
They've heard in the background, Paige Love, second baseman, a 9-hitter for Pfeiffer. Hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning and ended up scoring on a triple by Ashlyn Kennedy.
Squares to bunt. And it's a foul ball. Trying to move that runner to second with your 9-hole hitter.
You get your top of the runner second with top of the lineup. So, and Kennedy hit a triple her last time up. So,
not
good
a
idea.
bad strategy. And that one is going to be popped. Foul. Paige Love trying to get out of the way of it, but it still made contact.
It was more of a defensive bunt as opposed to.
That can't be a good feeling on a cold day like this. That ball coming in at you and
putting the bat in front of your face for
shield yourself, right? And she gets a drill. So Paige Love fires the bat down. Not happy.
Well, it's this
second hit by pitch. Something about Paige Love makes Morgan Beeler want to hit her.
Didn't really look or tell. I don't know if she stands up closer to the plate or has a little different strategy as far as being in the box. But, yeah, she's been hit by a pitch twice.
My posture isn't good enough to see over these bricks, Joe, so I don't know where she's standing either.
I'm just not tall enough.
Kennedy now, dangerous hitter, leadoff hitter. 2 on, none out. So Beeler now in another pickle, trying to work her way out of it. And she's going to fall behind early in this one. That one is down and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
And last time Kennedy was in this situation, it ended up being a triple to the right field corner, and 2 runs scored for Pfieffer. There are only 2 runs of the game.
Kennedy digs in and slaps that one foul down the left field line. Gets a little tip from Coach Sherrill, hitting tip. Talking to Coach Sherrill, he said earlier before this game, we mentioned that Sheena Holler played for him back in his early coaching career at Alexander Central, and he said she was a heck of a player. So
I had heard that. Of course, she and Coach Sherrill in the Alexander County Hall of Fame.
Now we do have to get on Coach Holler for choosing to go to Wingate and play her college ball there, but we'll let that slide. She needed to get 800 wins here to let that slide, and she accomplished it. So
she made a circuit through the SAC, and
right, yeah, you're right. Newberry
goes to Newberry to coach. We were able to get her back.
Yeah, hopefully she ends it here. She's no more.
No more moving
cycling around. And that one's popped to left. That should be
like it's playable.
Easy play, and it is.
They
tried to double off, but
yeah.
Kendall Osborne makes the play out and left. And there's one away.
Yeah, it was only one away, but pretty big out.
Yeah.
Kennedy at the top of the order is a good player. Of course, had the triple before, and to get her, out and have the runners not advance, nice for Morgan Beeler.
Michael's a .444 hitter a season ago with a .756 slugging percentage. Takes ball 1. She had 2 homers and 12 RBIs. The leader for Pfieffer last year in homers and RBIs, Carrie Westerbeek, 8 homers, 39 RBIs. I think she probably finished up her career. She's not on the roster this year, but pretty impressive numbers last year in 17 games, driving in 39. Slugging only 1,020. With a .549 batting average. Video game numbers.
Pretty impressive.
That one's chopped up the middle. LeClaire is going to take the out at first, the sure out, bypassing the force at second. And Lenoir-Rhyne's one out away of getting out of this first and second nobody out jam. But they're going to have to earn it with Mackenzie Purnell stepping up to the plate.
Just, the ball's a little slow, and where Talon made the play,
Yep.
she would have had to sort of turn back behind herself to get it to second. So smart move by the senior, I think, to just go ahead and get the out at first.
Momentum already taking her away from second base, and could lead to a big inning of throwing error there. So take the sure out. Talon knows what she's doing out there.
She has certainly played a lot of good softball for Lenoir-Rhyne in her career.
Oh boy,
that could be trouble.
Homer.
Yeah, it sure is. Wow.
Purnell with a bomb to left.
Well, we've seen a couple go out today, and that was an important one for Pfieffer. 3-run home run for Mackenzie Pennell. Takes the lead, gives Pfieffer the lead 5-2 here in the top of the 4th.
Just saw her father outside the gates here, and he mentioned that Pennell missed all last season with a shoulder surgery, so that one had to feel good for her.
Yeah, I would think so.
3-run bomb, and now Pfieffer 5-2 in the upper hand, the driver's seat in the 4th inning as they try and pull off this upset of the nationally ranked Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. We knew this one was going to be a struggle coming into this one. Pfieffer, a really talented team, and unfortunately Lenoir-Rhyne not at full strength in this one. Not your custom lineup, as we've seen some mixing and matching at some different positions in the field, but Pfieffer playing well. Davis now 1 ball, no strike. Sure made those 3 hits hurt, has Pfieffer. Pushed across 5 runs on just 3 hits. And again, you can look back to the hit by pitch to the number 9 hitter. A second straight time that one has come back to bite Beeler. And this one she had no 2 count on Love, who was trying to give herself up with a bunt. She couldn't get it down, drew the hit by pitch, and now it's a 3-run inning.
Well, and even, to add to that, 2-run triple was a walk and a hit by pitch, and then the 3-run home run, walk and a hit by pitch.
So the Bears bats are going to have to do some damage if they want to get back in this thing, but now you got to keep putting zeros on the scoreboard and keep this Pfieffer team at reach, as that one's going to be a 5-pitch walk for Beeler. She's struggling a little bit out there, as Kylie Lenhart's going to come in and try and calm her down.
6 walks now for Morgan, I believe, and plus the 2 hit batters. So, she does have a handful of strikeouts, 6, but 8 free passes if you count the walks and the hit by pitch. And so, as I mentioned earlier, kind of a feast or famine sort of day for Morgan Beeler.
A lot of pitches outside the strike zone for this one, for the sophomore, Ocean Isle, but trying to round herself back into shape from this extended layoff and an even longer layoff to this 2021 season than we would have thought. Supposed to start last weekend, 2 weekends ago, and that one was rained out, and then the one last weekend is postponed as Coach Holler's going to take her trip out. I think that's her second trip to the mound to talk to Beeler.
Kind of waved off the, looked like, the rest of the infield was getting ready to come to the circle, too, and Coach Holler waved them off. I think she just wanted to have a little one-on-one with Morgan and see what she can do to get her settled down a little bit.
Back in 2016, these two teams met in the NCAA tournament. Pfieffer won both of those games to eliminate Lenoir-Rhyne. Monty Sherrill with a little bit of the bragging rights on the former player. Coach Holler, 2 balls, 1 strike.
It's pretty, it's an important batter, I think, for Beeler. You got to get settled down. You got 2 outs. You've given up the home run. There's a runner on first. You really need to kind of get through this inning and see if you can regroup a little bit in the dugout.
Brown fouls that one off. We are all even at 2-2. And the count, 2 outs. Runner on first base, courtesy of a walk. Beeler gets a signal, and she is going to come home with this one. Fouled back. Watch the camera.
Just pass the camera stand.
Save the equipment. We'll charge that to the Pfieffer budget.
Count remains 2-2. 2 outs here. Top of the 4th. 3-run homer by Mackenzie Pennell has put the Falcons up 5-2. Now, Beeler runs the count full.
Runner will be off with the pitch, I'm sure. Full count, 2 outs. And that one's poked down the
Looks
line.
like that could be in play. Foul ball. So evidently, Kylie Lenhart couldn't quite get there.
In our blind spot down the line.
In our blind spot, yes.
Lenhart trying to make the transition, call it the Craig Biggio transition, going from catcher to second base.
We could attach a big mirror to the light post out there in right field, and so we could kind of get a peek there. You know, they have some of those if you pull out in a blind spot of a driveway or something.
We'll give.
I'll ask Coach Holler about that.
That's right. Oh, and
a nice pitch
on the
by
corner.
Morgan Beeler to get out of the inning. Bears do give up a 3 runs to Pfieffer as Pfieffer takes the lead 5-2 as we head into the bottom of the 4th.
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We had a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Freshman Garley Hildebrand set to lead off this bottom of the 4th, and the Bears have some work to do. The upset-minded Pfieffer Falcons coming into Bears Field, and Hickory putting up a 5-2 lead as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. And the Bears ranked 15th in Division II, getting all they can handle from this Pfieffer Falcon squad.
Now at bat, catcher, number 32.
Kennedy, got to be the early player of the game. With the double, the triple, the 2-run triple, and coming in to settle down this pitching staff.
Yeah, really, other than the leadoff home run there in the second by Kaylee Travis, has done pretty well. Wow, there's another long foul ball.
I'm not sure if it's our angle here. Everything looks like it's a rocket off the bat.
It does. Well, it sounds. You listen to the bat. It sounds like it is too.
We're in. This is opening day for us too. We got to learn how to judge these line drives. Everything looks like. I almost call a home run and a 2-hop the fence. So I got to get my sight lines right.
Well, there's another one, and that looks
one could be
like that could be problems.
Garley
Hildebrand,
the freshman, with a solo shot to left field. Her first career homer. And the Bears trail 5-3 after that one.
Well, so 2 freshmen now. Peyton Bryant with the double in the 3rd inning, and now Garley Hildebrand with a home run in the 4th. 2 freshmen get their first hits as Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, and it helps draw the Bears a little bit closer. Now trailing only 5-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. And good news, too. Top of the order for the Bears, Savannah Moorfield. She's walked and scored and reached on a fielder's choice. And she'll bat here with no outs in the bottom of the 4th.
Good quick answer there, and that's going to be slapped into left field for a base hit, and the Bears back as the aggressors in this one. Cut it to 5-3, put the runner on base, and Kylie Lenhart, the person you want stepping into the bat, one swing, and we can tie this thing right back up.
Yeah, that we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. It's that top 3 is pretty deadly. With Moorfield, Lenhart, and LeClaire.
All 3 preseason first-team all-conference selections, which meant they were first-teamers the season before, and that one's chopped
right
to third.
to third. Might have a chance at 2 here. Well, and they do. Wow, what a nice play there. The double play turned by Pfieffer and quickly gets themselves out of a jam, goes from no outs and a person on to 2 outs and nobody on.
The old 5-4-3 double play, perfectly executed by Pfieffer. And it's 5-3 with 2 outs, and Talon LeClaire stepping in.
Certainly has the ability to get a run with one swing.
She's out in front of that one. A little off-speed pitch. She fouls that towards the dugout. And it's no ball, 1 strike count to the senior. LeClaire from Statesville, played at West Iredell. That one's a rocket.
It is, right to the gap. Could be 2. Depends on how they pick it up. Nope, she's going to scurry back to first base. Probably a good decision.
Nice play,
good play
there by the left fielder, Mays.
Yeah.
Mays cut that one off, kept her to 1, and now that double play hurts even more. That might have gotten one across, but good execution of the double play, the 5-4-3, and just 1 runner on with Leanna Sherrill striding to the plate. Bears trail by 2 in this one. Big 3-run homer by Mackenzie Pinnell to give the Falcons a 5-2 lead. Garley Hildebrand with a solo shot makes it 5-3. So what have we seen, Joe? Three home runs here today. 2 from the Bears, 1 from Pfieffer. The ball's flying a little bit out here.
Couple of doubles, triple. So a lot of extra base hits. I think really only 2 or 3 singles maybe on the game.
Let's check that one
3.
out. Swing and a miss there by Cheryl. That's good research. Let's see if we can pull that up here. It looks like 1 single for Pfieffer and maybe 2 for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Yeah, and both those were this inning. So.
Yep.
The old handy newspaper
Make
scorebook.
that 3 singles this inning.
So the Bears, after the double play, turned nicely by Pfieffer, get a couple of singles, and have a runner back in scoring position for Hannah Jennings.
That's the frustrating thing about those double plays. You know, we've had a homer, 3 singles, and only 1 batter made an out, but only 1 run on the scoreboard.
Right.
Big momentum shift there, and Hannah Jennings now needs a third straight hit to push 1 across at least. The Bears need to start putting runs on the board. There's still time in this one, but you don't want to let that Pfeiffer team have their confidence keep building.
Jennings walked in the first, grounded out to first in the third. Kind of awkward there. Grounded out to the first baseman in the third inning.
Mouthful. Nice execution, though. That one's a strike on the corner.
Counts 1-1. Bears trail 5-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. Got a solo home run from Garley Hildebrand, her first hit as a Bear. And 2 runners on now. Hannah Jennings.
And Paige Love's going to come up with this one, complete it to Reese Davis, and Pfeiffer comes out of it. So what do we have on that inning? 4 hits?
4 hits.
1 run.
Only the 1 run.
So heading into the top of the 5th, Pfeiffer, 5-3 advantage.
I love being busy in my garden. I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found the expert for my heart.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Oh, is it 16? Yes. And welcome back to Lenoir-Rhyne softball here. Just discussing a pitching change for the Bears. Mariana Clement coming in to pitch. transfer from Lewisburg Junior College, pitched for the Bears last year. Final line for Morgan Beeler. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, but 5 runs. Gave up a 3-run home run in the 4th, 2-run triple in the 2nd. 7 strikeouts, but also 5 walks and 2 hit batters. So up and down outing for Beeler, but ultimately gave up the 2 big hits, the home run and the triple that have counted for all 5 runs, and Marianne Clement takes over for the Bears on the mound.
Her second season here at Lenoir-Rhyne. You mentioned from Lewisburg College. She pitched a little bit last year for Lenoir-Rhyne, probably the 3rd pitcher in the rotation behind Rakes and Beeler, but she's going to come in relief in this one. And
2-0 last year with a 2.59 ERA, pitched in 13 games, 24 innings pitched, 9 earned runs, 21 strikeouts.
Going to face Kendra Mays to start this 5th inning, and Mays fouls that one back.
I wonder if we should guess over the course of this season how many foul balls we might get right here. It'll be a little bit of a tough.
Bring your
angle.
glove.
It's going to have to get up there.
Yeah, you're going to have to.
I know. I
hit
can't just pull off my hat because of the headset.
And I'm not barehanded it. Not on a day like this.
Not on a day like this. You're exactly right.
The wind looks like it's blowing in a little bit. Those flags from center field blowing straight at us, but not too bad.
A little bit in the shade here, in our spot.
We found the one spot that shaded.
The shade.
Another hit by pitch. The 3rd hit batter in this one. Kendra Mays is going to take her base. And that'll bring up York. Wind starting to pick up.
Right fielder, number 28, Addison York.
I made the change to go to a jacket, but Joe's out here just braving the elements.
Got the old long sleeve, the old Lenoir-Rhyne Bear basketball T-shirt underneath here.
Throwback. No count in this one, as the first pitch is going to be up and away to York. You're way tougher than I am, Joe. I'm layering up. I got my hood up, and you're just fine over there.
I don't know if it's tough or stupidity, but I'll go with the first one at least for right now.
That one is a swing and a miss. Clement got her out in front of that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. When the wind isn't whipping, it's really not that bad. But again, we're
wind does make a difference.
Little patch that's in the shade.
I told my students in one of my classes recently that 20 degrees is the difference between Hickory and Boone.
Mm-hmm.
25 degrees is cold, but 25 degrees with a 40-mile-an-hour wind is really cold.
Exactly.
Really, just my hands are cold right now, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? And how about this? Look at this. I got gloves.
No.
Oh my goodness! How did I not have these on? Chop to Cheryl.
Make a play there. Ooh.
To Lenoir.
Nice play by Lenhart there to snag the throw from Cheryl and get the force out at second.
Looks like a seasoned second baseman out there. He spent most of her career behind the plate, but making the switch to second base, make room for Hildebrand in the lineup. Clement gets her first out. Shortstop Kendall Warren stepping in, getting the signs from Cheryl, who is standing with his arms crossed. Flashing some signals in there to Warren. Runner on first, 1 out. Bunt attempt is pulled back, and a strike 1 is called. Warren is the 8-hole hitter. And the 9-hole hitter, we've had a heck of a time trying to get her out.
Well, she's had a heck of a time getting out of the way of the ball.
She's got a magnet somewhere in that jersey. That one's inside. Nobody happier to see Morgan Beeler leave this game than Paige Love. Taking 1 off the leg and 1 off the arm, but scored 2 runs, and I'm sure that's what matters most to her.
Sure would be nice for the Bears if Clement could come in here and just get through this inning and kind of settle things down.
Yep. That one's going to be inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Warren ahead in the count.
5-3. Pfieffer leads. Only 3 hits for their 5 runs. Bears 7 hits, but only 3 runs. Here in the top of the 5th.
Strike 2 called from Clement, hopping ahead in the count. Chop down the
just
line.
past the third baseman. Foul. Warren battling here for Pfieffer is Mariana Clement. Steps in the circle for the Bears.
Fought that one off. That was up and in, but
Yeah, she might well have swung at the ball there.
right. But can't be too selective with the 2-strike count, so keep spoiling it, making Clement work. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first base for the Falcons. Clement with the changeup, got her looking.
Nice pitch there by Mariana, and she gets the second out for the Bears. So, like we said before, if she can get through this inning unscathed and just kind of go through and settle things down, it would be good, maybe momentum change for the Bears.
Well, the Lenoir-Rhyne pitching staff has showed Paige no love in this one. I've been waiting a couple batters to say that one, Joe.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
2 hit by pitches on that. So this is her first official at bat still.
Yep.
Possibly. As we got a little delay. Not sure. Sheena Holler's out of the dugout. Not sure if that counts as an official visit or just hollering some instructions.
Yeah. So Paige Love steps into the box, hoping not to be hit by pitch for a third time.
That one is up and away for ball 1. I think that's the first pitch of the bat, right? They got the scoreboard wrong.
Yes, it was.
Says a 2-0 count.
It's 3 in it. Okay, well. Okay.
So I guess maybe they called an illegal something or other. maybe that's what
that
had
was why
Sheena
the
out of the
official came
dugout.
in. Did she step out of the
Maybe
circle?
it was an illegal pitch, or
did she step out of the circle?
She's thrown 1 pitch, but she's behind 3-0. So Paige Love has got some sort of potion here today, where she's just going to get on base regardless. And that one is called the strike. Second pitch of the bat, but it's a 3-1 count. Maybe she went to her mouth. I don't know, Joe. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm guessing over here.
We'll have to check on
Uninformed guess. What is a 3-1 count?
Well, I'm going to walk there to Love. So three plate appearances, 3 times on first base, and no official at-bats for Paige Love.
It's going to help the old on-base percentage.
Yes, it will. As we go to the top of the batting order, and Ashlyn Kennedy, 2-run triple in the second, and has done a good job on the mound so far for Pfeiffer, kind of stepping in there in the first inning and settling things down for them.
Good pitch there to get this at bat started. Hop ahead of the count. Big batter here. You don't want to let any more room in between these two teams. You don't want to let Pfeiffer surge ahead by much more than a couple runs that they are. Want to keep them where they are and start chipping away at this lead. Kennedy, the lefty, slaps at one.
Oh.
Cheryl gets a piece. LeClaire on the rebound, but not going to be in time. Nice effort on the left side in the infield.
Well, she looked. I think she would have liked to have gone to third, but after after the play there that got Cheryl on the ground, it wasn't really an option for Talon to go there, and had to try to make a play at first. So it was that was a difficult spot either way. Now all of a sudden, though, base is loaded.
Michaels with a big at-bat, and this one might be the at-bat of the game. We're getting late, top of the fifth. A 5-3 advantage for Pfieffer, looking to add on to it. 3 on, 2 out. Clement, her first inning of work. That one's going to miss low. Clement wanted that one, but it's going to miss low. I wonder if there's any relation from Leanna Sherrill to Monty Sherrill there. I might have to check on that one. I'm guessing no. I'm going to guess I would have heard if there was, but a couple of Sherrills over there by third base. And that one's 2-0. Hitters count for Michaels, nowhere to put her.
Clement steps on the rubber, and here's the pitch.
3-0.
Yeah, you're right. Nowhere to put her, and you got a 3-0 count. Michaels 2 walks and hit into a grounded out to shortstop, her last at bat.
See if she's taken or gets the green light on 3-0. I'd imagine she's probably taken with the bases loaded. Make Clement get back into this at bat on her own. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be in there.
Looks like a good strike.
So probably a straight take sign from Michaels. Still in her advantage, 3-1. Big pitch here coming from the senior.
And a little number looks like it's going to be a pretty easy play for Clement. She gets out of it. Bases loaded jam for Mariana Clement. Gets the comebacker and makes the play at first base. So the Bears stem the tide and keep Pfieffer off the board after a little bit of danger and still trail 5-3 as we go into the bottom of the fifth.
Break great with Carolina West Wireless. Great new phones and a great customer experience, all on our great nationwide high-speed network. Stop by today and get big savings on select Samsung smartphones, like $350 off the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S20 Plus, and $350 off the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The great savings continue with 4 lines of unlimited data for just $35 a month per line. Celebrate great savings and go stay connected wherever your travels take you.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Taylor Parrish is going to be re-entering in the circle for Pfieffer. Monty Sherrill goes back to his original starter, who faced the first 3 Bears, didn't record a single out, and was pulled, charged with 1 earned run. And she's going to come back on. Great outing from Kennedy in relief. Let's see if she heads back to center field where she started the game. But going back to Parrish is Monty Sherrill. And yes, Kennedy's back in its center field. The dual threat, triple threat, I guess, with the bat, the arm, and the glove. She can do it all out there. Leadoff hitter as well. So Kendall Osborne will lead this inning off. The bottom of the fifth. 3 more at-bats for the Bears. Got to score a pair to tie it up, as that one's going to be in at the knees.
Osborne hit into a fielder's choice in the first, struck out in the third.
Held off on that one, started the hands, but held back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. That one misses high. Some more action tonight on the Bears Sports Network, presented by NBA Roofing. We got a soccer doubleheader starting at 5 o'clock, 5 and 7:30. The Bears take on Lincoln Memorial. First soccer games of the season. Joe, in your entire time around college athletics or Lenoir-Rhyne, have you ever seen a day that had soccer and softball on the same day?
Not when both were in season.
Right,
no.
in-season soccer and softball, but you're going to see it here. History on the Bears Sports Network.
What a year.
What a year. But we're fired up for a little soccer. The women, the reigning SAC champs, but they were knocked from the conference tournament by Lincoln Memorial. Got a bone to pick as that one's drilled down the line. That's going to be extra bases.
Gets into the corner. She's going to try for second. It's going to be close, but she gets in. Nice job by Kendall Osborne to get into second, slide and score. Or not score, but slide and be safe. That was a close play. It looked like it was going to be close. There when the Pfieffer player, I think.
Yeah, I don't know who's in left field anymore. They've had too many changes.
They've changed some things around. Might actually be Kendra Mays.
No, I think she's. Who is in center?
Not.
Who did they put in center when? Because I think that's who's over in left
Katie
now.
Michaels.
Yeah, I think that's who's over in left. She got to it quick, got a good throw in, made it a close play. Lead off double. Got to get this run across, Joe.
Yeah, it's pretty important here. That's got an opportunity, runner in scoring position with no outs. So, and of course, Peyton Bryant, the freshman out of Bunker Hill, with her first career hit was a double back in the third inning.
This
So
bottom half of the lineup has sure been potent.
Well, 2 home runs and 2 doubles out of the bottom 4. So
that'll play. 8 hits for the Bears, doubling up in the hits column. But Pfieffer made those 4 hits count. 5 runs across and a lot of walks. I want to stop counting the amount of walks, but a lot of walks for the LR pitching staff led to 5 runs. 2 spot in the second and a 3 spot in the fourth. Enough to give Pfieffer the lead as the upset-minded Falcons lead by 2. Bottom of the 5th. Got to get this runner over to third at least with an out. Bryant, some situational hitting. Let's see how she does.
Well,
that's not what you
Parrish
wanted
got
to
her.
see. Yeah. Good answer for Parrish, and I think that's going to be her first out in this one in the circle. So she's officially gone 1/3 of an inning.
2 walks in the double. She gave up in the top of the first. She was a starting pitcher, and Monty Sherrill making a quick move, but now getting Parrish back in the circle.
Travis fouls that one off. And, that says a lot about Parrish, too, because we talked about the slow start that she had, and this one didn't get out in the first 3 batters. Comes back in, gives up a leadoff double, but rebounds to get a big strikeout of Bryant and tries to right the ship a little bit. That one's down in the dirt, 1-1. Travis gets the sign. I think Sheena Holler gave her the hit a 2-run homer sign.
I think she just turned around and point to the trees.
Yes, that's the sign.
2-run homer sign. 2-1 now to Travis.
Let's take a look back and check if that was Kaylee Travis's first career home run, and it sure was. So the junior on opening day here, starting her 3rd season in a big way. See if she can add to it. That solo shot to left center.
A little inside. So
up and in, 3-1. Travis is a pesky hitter for this Falcons team to figure out.
Bears have a runner scoring position. Kendall Osborne at second. It's trailing 5-3 here in the bottom of the 5th.
3-1 changeup. Had Travis out in front of it. The old Bugs Bunny changeup. Could have taken a couple hacks at that one and made contact. But full count. Parrish looking for a back-to-back strikeouts. Big pitch here in this one. Looks like she swung at ball 4. That one was down, but she popped to the shortstop. And 2 outs in the inning.
Carly Hildebrand up now for the Bears, starting catcher today, and her first career hit as a Lenoir-Rhyne Bear was a solo home run back in the bottom of the 4th.
It's going to take a single to score now in this inning. Going to take a 2-out hit, 2-out RBI, unless there's a misplay in the field. But hate to waste a leadoff double. But that's what the Bears are in danger of in this one. 2 outs. Hildebrand takes up and in.
A hit, even if it doesn't score a run, is good for the Bears with Savannah Moorfield on deck. But certainly would like to see Osborne make the turn at third and get the Bears on the board.
That one's fouled straight back into the parking lot. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big at bat here for Hildebrand, the freshman. You mentioned solo homer in this one, first career hit. She could add a second career RBI with a base hit in the right place anyway. Cut and a miss. Parrish strong after the leadoff double. She's bearing down.
And a nice, give her credit, nice bounce back after a rough start there when she started the game.
1 ball, 2 strike pitches on the way. Sky
Could be
to
a little
center.
trouble. No, looks like it's going good.
Yeah. Kennedy out there, sure-handed, makes the play. Leadoff double is wasted as we are through 5 complete. Pfieffer with a 5-3 advantage heading into the top of the 6th.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And welcome back to Bears Field here as we season opener for Lenoir-Rhyne softball. Bears facing Pfeiffer University. Bears trailing currently going into the top of the 6th. Bears trailing Pfeiffer 5-3. Mariana Clement on the mound for the Bears for her 2nd inning of work. Morgan Beeler started the game. Mariana coming in last inning to open the 5th and now starts her 2nd inning. Kenzie Pennell in the batter's box for Pfeiffer. 3rd baseman, hit a 3-run home run in the 4th. Is really, the difference in the game now with Pfeiffer leading 5-3.
Yeah, she smoked that one to left. Knew as soon as she hit it, it was gone. And that's the difference. Clement gets the sign. Fires. Nice pitch on the outside corner, strike 1.
Clement's a pretty good inning of work there in the 5th. Gave up a hit and a walk, but also had a strikeout and kept Pfeiffer off the board to kind of get the Bears back in sync a little bit.
Pennell just smokes that one to left center. That's going to be extra bases for the senior. A homer and a double in her last 2 at-bats.
Yes, so she's gotten hot after a strikeout and flying out to center field. 2 straight hits for Pennell, and Pfeiffer has a runner in scoring position with no outs, and Reese Davis at the plate.
Mackenzie Pennell, a stud at the Division II level for Pfeiffer her freshman year. She was the league freshman of the year. So we mentioned this is a Division III team in name only. A lot of talent on the field, and Pennell certainly one of them as Davis takes upstairs. 5 hits for Pfeiffer and 5 runs. Bears with 8 hits but only pushed across 3. And they got 6 outs to figure out a way to get back in this one, but got to put a 0 up first.
Davis singled in the 1st, reached on an error and walked in the 4th.
Pfeiffer spoiled the Lenoir-Rhyne leadoff double in their half of the inning. Let's see if the Bears can do the same, return the favor. Nice pitch.
Pulled a string on that a little bit.
There's confidence in that changeup, the off-speed pitch when you throw it behind in the count, like she just did on the 2-0, to try and get back in the at-bat. Got a little bit of action, looks like, in the bullpen. That one's rope foul.
Yeah, another hard
Peyton
hit foul.
Bryant. Peyton Bryant getting some tosses in the pen. I'm not sure if she'll come in this one or is maybe getting ready for game 2. But you mentioned listed as a pitcher. She's the DP in this one. But pitcher by trade, as the Bears have had to juggle the lineup a little bit.
A little bit outside for Clement. Runs the count full, 3-2. Pfeiffer has a runner on second. Lead off double by Mackenzie Pennell.
That one is upstairs.
A little bit high.
Walk. So 2 on and none out. Sarah Brown, the catcher, going to stride to the plate.
Catcher, number 16, Sarah Brown.
You know, these face masks on a cold day, Joe, aren't such a bad thing. Keeping the face warm.
Yeah, that's true.
And we might have a pinch runner here as Monty
looks like
Sherrill makes the gesture. So see who they'll substitute in. Looks like, who we got here?
4?
Number 4.
Addison Campbell, sophomore from South Stanley High School.
Brown. So the Bears down 2. Pfeiffer with 2 on and none out. This is a big stretch. Big couple of batters. Got to put a 0 on the board to stay in this one. And Mariana Clement tasked with keeping Pfeiffer off the board in her second inning of work. Brown squares to bunt, pops that one foul. I would have made that play if there was no net there.
I think you could have.
I got my gloves on, too. I was going to catch that.
Pfeiffer had a runner going, too. They had people in motion, so that was a little bit of a break for Lenoir-Rhyne there. For the foul ball.
Although if she popped that up in fair territory, that could have been disaster for Pfeiffer.
Double play, too.
See if that same call is on, and she does square, and she does pop it foul. So 0-2, but you know what? The last time Pfeiffer went 0 for 2 on bunt attempts, they ended up getting a runner on anyways. Paige Love got hit by pitch down 0-2, so maybe that's the formula in this one. Brown 0-2, Clement in the driver's seat. See if she goes to that off-speed pitch again that's been working pretty well for her.
Wind's picked up in the outfield. The flags are flailing around out.
Yep, coming straight at us.
One and two's a count. Mariana Clement facing Sarah Brown. Runners on first and second for Pfeiffer.
That one's to Leclerc. They're going to get the force at third, and
that's going to be the only play, but they did get the lead runner, so they get the out at third. Reese Davis advances to, I know we had a pinch runner, that's right, Addison
Campbell, I believe.
Addison Campbell, right.
Number 2, Kendra Mays.
Kendra Mays is going to stride to the plate. So good play there, get the lead runner. Wasn't sure if they were going to have a chance at first, but no need to force it. Get the easy out. And one more out closer to getting out of this one is Mariana Clement. That one is down. Ball 1. Appreciate everybody joining us on the Bear Sports Network presented by NBA Roofing. Wish we could have you all out here, but glad you're able to join us via the live stream today.
Strike on May, strike to Mays. Struck out in the second. Popped up to first in the third. And hit by pitch in the fifth inning. Pfeiffer with runners on first and second. One out. High for Clement as the count goes to 2-1. It is a big inning, Jeremy, for the Bears. Really need to keep the score where it is.
Yep. Don't want to fall too much further behind, especially with just 2 at-bats left in this one. But you got to feel good about where you are in this bottom half of the 6th inning because it's Moorfield, Lenhart, and
the heart
LeClaire.
of the order.
So
Yes.
the three you want coming to the plates. So it'd be big to put a 0 up and get those sluggers up to start that 6th inning. But first things first is getting out of this one unscathed, as Kendra Mays is doing her best to make Clement work, foul another one off. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball.
Foul. Yeah, she's battling up there.
As I question why I decided to stay out here and broadcast this one. But no, we're enjoying this one. Great to have some live action. Great to have some live softball. It's been too long, Joe, so doesn't matter what the weather is, right?
That is true.
And that one's
nice
chopped. This
play
could be
at
2.
third.
Oh, boy,
no.
Cheryl. Cheryl's had a heck of a time throwing. And
Well, they get the ball in, but they do get the out at third. Great, nice play by Cheryl at third to scoop up and get the lead runner, but overthrows there at first base for the second time, I guess, today.
Yeah, and they had the double play. A good throw gets them out of the inning, but that will go down as a fielder's choice and an E5 on the throw, and it's 2nd and 3rd. So probably the biggest at-bat of this contest is Addison York steps up with 2 runners in scoring position. Pfeiffer already trails by 2. Lenoir-Rhyne trails by 2 to Pfeiffer. And the top half of the 6th, Clement has got to bear down and get strike 1 on the inside corner.
York walked and scored in the 2nd on the triple by Kennedy. Struck out in the 3rd, reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for Pfeiffer. Bears trail 5-3 here in the top of the 6th.
Up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch is fouled at the plate. Clement up 1-2. 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning.
Yeah, you
Much
sure don't
needed.
want that throwing error to come back and haunt you.
Yep, much needed. Get out of this one. Cheryl with a couple errant throws, but got the 1 out, so it could have been worse. But got the lead runner. So 2nd and 3rd. Clement fires up and away. Good play by Hildebrand. Snatching that one. Looks like she was set up down and in. It was up and away, but she still got up and got it. The freshman making her first career start behind the dish. That one is cued at the plate. Clement up and throwing. Good throw, and she gets out of the inning. Big play by Mary Anna Clement. Fielding her position, keeping Pfeiffer ahead by just 2 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Top of the lineup due up for the Bears as they try and get back in this game, down 5-3.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip Hop Group Tag Team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, shakalaka, 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 shaka. Scoop, shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Bottom half of the 6th inning, due up for the Bears. Savannah Moorfield, Kylie Lenhart, and Talon LeClaire. The 3 you want up at the plate with the game in doubt, and exactly what the doctor ordered here. The bottom half of the 6th inning. Pfeiffer, the upset-minded Falcons, coming from Meisenheimer, looking to knock off the 15th ranked Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. But they're still 6 outs away, and this one is Savannah Moorfield. Left-handed hitter strides up, the leadoff hitter, center fielder.
been on base all 3 times she's come to the plate today. Walked and scored in the first, fielder's choice in the second, and had a single in the 4th inning. So 1,000 on base percentage currently, I guess. One hopper by Parrish to the plate there. Moorfield has a 1-0 count in her favor.
Cued off the end of the bat. Moorfield, one of 4 players from a season ago to hit at least 400 for this Lenoir-Rhyne team. The top 3 in the lineup, along with Lauren Rakes, who we haven't seen in this one.
Makes me wonder if she's going to start the second game. I'm not sure. But she, as good as she is at the plate, you would think maybe she would have been in there if she wasn't going to pitch later today.
Foul ball.
Foul ball.
Hit her in the batter.
Oh.
She was in the batter's box ump.
They're going to, good job by the officials. They're going to consult a little bit here. But the ball was right on the line, and as Savannah was stepping to go to first, ball hit her in the heel, it looked like.
Definitely still in the batter's box. So hopefully they get the right call, and they do.
There we go.
Foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes should be the count for Savannah.
Coach Earl's going to ask. Well, he's going to ask a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's going to ask to check with the 3rd umpire to see. That's the life of an umpire.
Yes.
No matter what you call, one of them is going to be upset at you, right?
Yes, it is.
But he's just getting the clarification.
I think that was a correct call. It was good that they consulted each other and got that sorted out. So it was a strike. So Moorfield in the hole here, 1 and 2. Leading off the bottom of the 6th, Bears trail 5-3.
Moorfield slaps that one to left in the air.
Looks like it's playable.
Much ado about nothing, as Moorfield's retired anyways. 1 out. Kylie Lenhart looking to redeem herself after hitting into that double play in her last AB.
Hit it hard and just, right at the third baseman. And, give Pfieffer credit. That was a great turn on that double play to kind of stem the tide there after the leadoff home run by Garley Hildebrand.
Yeah, and softball with these base paths, to get a double play, you got to hit it pretty hard and right at somebody. And unfortunately, Lenhart did both, and the Falcons turned it. But regardless, definitely one of the batters you want to have up at the plate with this game in question is Kylie Lenhart. 10 home runs a season ago, 1 off the national leader in Division II, as that one's up and away. 10 homers in her 24 games.
Walked in the first inning, reaching on an error in the second, and then, of course, hit into the double play there in the 4th. Really took some steam out of the Bears at that point.
Fouled away. If you're just joining us, a 3-run homer by Mackenzie Pinnell in the top of the 4th is the difference. 5-3 advantage. It was all tied up at 2 with 2 outs in that inning when Pinnell hit the 3-run bomb to left center as Lenhart fouls one down the line. And the Bears have only been able to attack that solo home run in the bottom half of the 4th, but have come no closer. Pfieffer started Parrish, removed her after 3 batters, and no outs recorded, but she's come back in this one to redeem herself.
That's pitched pretty well.
Yeah, retired 4 of the last 5 since coming back in, other than the leadoff double in the 5th inning. Lenhart's right on her, though, down the line. Trying to put the old announcer hex on Paris and talk about how well she's been pitching. See if that one will work.
Well, since you mentioned it, when Sarah Brown for Pfieffer was at the plate last inning,
yes,
I did not mention that she had struck out her first 3 times at the plate.
There you go. A veteran. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lenhart, jeez.
Boy, she's out in front, and what a strong swing.
We're going to have to tell the soccer team to be careful when they're warming up across the street.
Another potential hood denter.
Yep. For certain. This is Kylie Lenhart, the senior. Second baseman today.
She's making Parrish work. Oh.
Got her looking. Lenhart didn't like it. Down at the knees on the corner. 2 down. Big inning for Parrish.
And number 3 of the big 3, not just the third hitter, but Talon LeClaire at the play, hit .474 last year.
Yeah, I'd have to say they're 1A, 1B, and 1C, yeah. Right? In the rankings.
Double and an RBI in the first, fielder's choice in the second. Single in the fourth, and fly out to center field to end the inning for the Bears. So the 3 wanted at the plate for Lenoir-Rhyne, and they go 0 for 3 in pretty critical spot in the game. So the Bears are going to need to rally, it looks like, in the bottom of the 7th as the Pfieffer Falcons lead here at the end of 6, 5-3. Ooh.
And we are into the crucial 7th inning here. Pfieffer looking to pull the upset of the 15th ranked team in Division II. Come here and stun the Bears are these Falcons. And they're 3 outs away. But first, they're at bat. Kendall Warren is going to lead off, the shortstop and number 8 hitter against Mariana Clement. 5-3 lead for these Falcons.
Now to bat shortstop, number 10.
Other than some throwing errors and a bunch of walks, this one has been pretty well played.
I chuckled a little bit because we were saying at the top of the game they were so excited to play. They started a little bit early. Game 2 was supposed to start at 4, and it's after
not.
4.
It will not.
It will not.
Started this one about 5 minutes early. As Warren takes ball 1.
Big inning for Mariana Clement. Really needs to keep Pfieffer off the scoreboard so the Bears have a chance in the bottom of the 7th.
Done a good job so far with a couple zeros on the board. Needs one more. And then a rally maybe to get the win out of the pen, but still a lot of work to do.
Counts 1-1. Mariana Clement facing Kendall Warren.
That one's off the hands, it looked like, just fouled back. Didn't get that one on the barrel. You'll feel that on a cold day like this, right? Getting one off the end of the bat or off the handle. Can't feel too good. Hands are ringing. She chokes up on the bat. This 1-2 count, trying to put something in play. And that one's down low.
Bears 3 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. Pfieffer 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error.
That one's going to be a little bit upstairs. So countings run full.
Wonder how many times have we said that today?
Hey. Feels like 10 to 15. Double digits for certain. Both teams working this count. And the leadoff batter in the 7th inning is going to foul one off.
Yeah, there's been some long at-bats for both teams in this one.
Hence the 2+ hours of game time. Getting some fresh ones. We mentioned the soccer games will be kicking off here at 5 o'clock on the Bears Sports Network, so you got to just click over to our other channel. Bears all night long.
All night long.
Stay warm, stay home, and watch the stream. Bears all weekend long, really, Joe. Oh, another pitch. That's at least the second hit by pitch with 2 strikes in the
for
count.
hit batters is in the game, because I think that's 6.
Somewhere, Paige Love right here is chuckling to herself that finally it wasn't her. But we got a
second baseman, number 3, Paige.
Timeout and a substitution. It looks like we're going to get a new pitcher. And we'll tell you about her when we come back from this short break. Top half of the 7th inning. Bears down by 2.
Everett Chevrolet Buick GMC is ready for another exciting football season. Everett has been a proud sponsor of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for 25 years, and we wish the Bears a safe and successful season. And August means it's all systems go for another winning season with the Carolina Panthers. We have a tradition of winning in the Carolinas, and when you want to be a winner in the car, truck, or SUV game, come see the sales and service champions at Everett, because if you didn't get an Everett deal, you dropped the ball, baby. Woo!
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Pitcher making her first career appearance in the circle, Peyton Bryant for Lenoir-Rhyne. She's done some damage with the bat in this one. Now she's going to do it in the circle. Joe, what do we know about Peyton Bryant?
Well, as you mentioned, her first pitching activity for the Bears did have a home run for Lenoir-Rhyne. Or hit, a double. It was her first career hit was a double. I was thinking about Gailey Hildebrand, but double in the 3rd inning. Now comes to the hill, closing the book on Clement. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout, 2 hit batters, but did her job by keeping Pfieffer off the scoreboard.
And that one, first pitch is in the dirt by Bryant, so they tried to bunt. Paige Love, I'm telling you, she's got some magic in her. She tried to bunt the last time and move a runner up and ended up getting hit. This time she didn't even need to lay the bunt down to get the runner over to second. Haven't been able to retire this number 9 batter. And doesn't have a hit. But she's gotten hit plenty of times. Yes. 2 hit by pitches and a walk. 2 runs scored, doing some damage. Out of the 9-hole, and that one's a wild pitch. I'm not sure if it was a wild pitch or a pass ball, Joe, but
yeah, I think that one may have been a wild pitch.
Just some nerve maybe here from the freshman Bryant. The first 2 in the dirt. And I think she offered it that one, or did they say she pulled back? Strike. So it should be 1-1.
Hannah Jennings from at first walks out to kind of speak to Peyton, maybe settle her down a little bit.
Let's see if they keep the bunt on with Paige Love. Good things happen for Pfeiffer when she squares the bunt and takes strike 2, excuse me. So she started this at bat with a runner on first, and now that runner's all the way over at third. Still nobody out.
That's an important run for the Bears to keep the runner on third.
Gotta imagine. Well, that one's going to get it done.
Sure is.
So that's costly. Costly couple wild pitches for the freshman, and an insurance run for Pfeiffer makes it 6-3. Paige Love, the unheralded player of the game for Pfeiffer, gets an RBI, has 2 runs scored from the 9-hole in the lineup. But the true star of the game probably is the batter in the batter's box right now. Done some nice work in the circle, a 2 RBI triple in the second. And between her and Pinnell, all the damage for this Pfeiffer squad.
Well, that was a potentially costly run for the Bears there. Now down 3, and you got 1 opportunity left at the plate. Try to tie this thing up and win it.
Yeah. 3-run comeback is going to be tough. And we mentioned earlier that the bottom half of the lineup has done a lot of damage, but they're going to have to do it again. 4, 5, 6 due up. And the bottom half of this inning that's a swing and a miss. So Peyton Bryant's first career K. 2 outs in this top half of the 7th, but the Bears work cut out.
Katie Michaels comes to the plate, walked in the first, walked in the second, ground out to short, ground out to the pitcher in the 5th. So her 5th at bat.
Down low.
Bears trail here, top of the 7th, 6-3. Have out hit Pfeiffer, 8-5, but trail where it counts, and that's in runs, and Bears are going to need to stem the tide here and get some at bats and try to get back in this thing. Oh, foul ball back to the maintenance shed here behind us.
I think those guys, I talked to them a couple days ago. I think they're just as joyful about having softball because we saw earlier they were all sitting out here watching. Yeah. They can sneak off of work for a couple minutes and watch some live action. They were excited that we had a home game. Hopefully their supervisors aren't watching, right?
Well, I don't know how the shifts run now, but
right.
a lot of them used to get off at 2:00. So perfect first pitch time for them, right as they're getting off work. Watch a little softball.
Check swing, and she held up. Full count. Joe, hit the play button. Full count.
It is full count. 2 outs. Nobody on for Pfeiffer, but they lead 6-3 here in the top of the 7th. And a walk.
Another walk in this one. Which brings up a dangerous Pinnell. Last 2 at-bats have been a homer and a double. Both of them smoked. Got to be careful here because right now you're still within striking distance, but one swing of the bat could put this one out of hand.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Pennell struck out in the first, flew out to center, but then the big 3-run homer in the 4th, as you mentioned, has been the difference in the game, difference in the score, and then a double got forced out, double in the 6th, and got forced out at 3rd.
Going to be scary to see what she does to some Division III competition the next couple months, as that one is going to be in at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like settle down a little bit since a couple of wild pitches there in the first. Of course, those were costly and got a run across for Pfeiffer. But
wind howling a little bit. Pinnell right up the middle. So she's a triple away from the cycle, but probably won't have a shot to complete it, as that one was lined right back up from where it came from. And 2 runners on for Pfeiffer to bring up the cleanup hitter. Reese Davis, the first baseman.
Davis single in the first, reached on an error in the 3rd, then has walked in the 4th and the 6th. So she's been on base 3 out of 4 times with a hit and a couple of walks.
That one's in the dirt, but Hildebrand keeps it in front of her. Brian gets the sign from Coach Sherrill. Temperatures plummet. And Davis hits it to LeClaire. She's going to take the short one.
Force at 3rd, and Bears get out of the inning, but do give up the 1 run hit by pitch, and a couple of wild pitches. Get Pfeiffer on the board for another spot, and Bears trail here 6-3 going to the bottom of 7th. Need a rally to win.
Being busy in my garden, I got flowers to plant and beds to clean out. When I was feeling really tired and not like myself, I saw a doctor. Look at me now. The doctors were good, they worked with me, and they laughed with me. I'm back to doing everything I love. I needed a doctor, and I found the expert for my heart.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we're back at Bear Field. Lenoir-Rhyne softball as the Bears trail Pfieffer here in the bottom of the 7th. 6-3. Leanna Sherrill, Hannah Jennings, and Kendall Osborne bear the weight of trying to get the Bears back in this thing.
This leadoff batter is really important. Sherrill has got to find a way to get on base.
Singled her last time up in the 4th, popped up to the shortstop in the 1st, struck out in the 2nd. But you're right, need to get the leadoff hitter on here. We've got to make something happen pretty quick.
That one is outside. Getting ahead early. It'd be nice to get a free pass to start this one.
Yeah, at this point, you won't just need base runners. It doesn't matter how they get on there. Just pull the string there a little bit, Parrish did.
Yeah.
And caught Sherrill out in front.
Might have chased that one a little bit, but good pitch sequencing. Just missed. 2 balls, 1 strike. You got to mentioned a couple times with Parrish, a lot of credit for settling herself down after getting removed from the game with 3 batters in. The first 3 batters reached. Coach Sherrill pulled the plug on her pretty quickly. Came back, gave up a leadoff double, but since then, I'm not sure if we've had a base runner or a hit since that leadoff double. Still figuring out the details.
They've heard a question from the stands. Bears not originally on the schedule, but it looks like they're going to be able to pick up a doubleheader tomorrow, hosting Flagler. They had come north to face Queens and Newberry over the weekend, and I guess Queens had to back out or something. Anyway, the Queens game is not happening, so I think Coach Hall was trying to help Flagler out so they didn't make a wasted trip, and looks like we're going to get a couple of more games tomorrow.
Beat it out.
Nice job by Leanna Sherrill. Beat out that ground ball to second. To shortstop, and we needed base runners, and we got the leadoff person on with Hannah Jennings at the plate. Walked in the first, grounded out to first base in the 3rd, and grounded out to second in the 4th. So Jennings looking for her first hit of the season.
Not sure Warren came up with that cleanly, but something in the transition wasn't smooth because that was a routine ground ball to short, but Sherrill beat it out. Big first base runner for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Good opportunity for Jennings to keep this going and put some pressure on the Falcons.
2-0 count. Wondering if we're going to take a strike here. Hannah Jennings. Tying runner is on deck.
Notice Coach Holler, she might have just given the 2-run homer signal.
Yeah, that's it. Ball 3, so Parrish fighting it in this at-bat.
Yeah, it wouldn't put it past Coach Sherrill to go back to Kennedy, honestly.
Right. She did a great job, and got to have a quick hook here. You want to figure out a way to beat these nationally ranked Bears. And that one's going to be right down the pipe. Good pitch. 3-1, and I don't know, Joe, put your Sheena Holler thinking cap on. You give her the take again, or is she gonna hack at this one?
Well, your times of the essence, and you got to you have to make some things happen quick.
So
and there you go.
Your prediction was she's going to swing, and she's going to hit a line drive base hit to right field.
Right off
Great
the glove.
call, Joe.
Right off the glove of the first baseman.
Yep, she got a hold of that one.
She did. It's a good, strong hit, and just what the Bears needed. First 2 up. first two, both of them reach base. Cheryl with a single. Yep, lost track here.
Yeah, single for Cheryl to the shortstop. Single to right. And now
Kendall Osborne up. She doubled her last time up. So.
And she hits a rope. And they're loaded with nobody out. Lenoir-Rhyne, the first three batters reached with singles. Double digits in the hit column, but still down 3.
Cheryl had to hold up just a little bit. I don't know if she would have been able to score anyway, but she had to hold up just a little bit. The ball sort of scooted through the base path as she was breaking from second, but still 3 on with no outs, and you're down 3, and you're getting Peyton Bryant has doubled in this game, her first career college hit, and then you've got Kaylee Travis up after that, who's homered, and Garley Hildebrand, who's also homered. So, as we'd mentioned earlier, bottom half of this order has done a good job today, driving in some run, getting on base and driving in some runs. So hopefully that continues here. Extended conversation there between Bryant and Coach Holler. Probably telling her to make sure you're waiting for the right one, as that one's going to be down. And it looks like Coach Cheryl from Pfieffer is going to ride with Parrish on this one. Yep. His ace, his opening day starter. Of course, he's still up 3 runs, so. And that one's in there. Good pitch on the inside corner. 1.04 ERA for Parrish last year. But the Bears threatening in this bottom half of the 7th. Almost doubling them up in the hit column, 11-6. That one's down low, 2-1. But these are the frustrating ones. 5 more hits, but 3 less runs somehow, and that's attributed to the walks and the hit by pitches. Great opportunity here for Lenoir-Rhyne. Bases loaded with no outs. Yep, hitters have to count make something happen. 2-1 count in favor of Bryant, the pitcher. And that's blooping down the line. That's going to be fair. That's going to score 2. A double for the freshman. Gets the third. Her second double of the game. And came in, pitched well last inning once she got settled down, and 2 doubles today, and this one a big one, driving in 2 runs. Still no outs. Bears have pulled to within 1. Runners on for second and third. Pinch runner came in. I missed who that was. But pinch runner for Bryant now at second base. So Bears suddenly, after trailing by 3, coming into the inning, trail by 1 with no outs and 2 runners in scoring position. Kaylee Travis, who's already homered today, will be the next batter for the Bears. And our speculation confirmed that Ashley Kennedy's coming back into the game. So they've used 2 pitchers in 4 appearances. 2 for the starter, Taylor Parrish, and now 2 for Ashlyn Kennedy as she tries to keep the Bears from scoring further. Boy, nice inning when you had to have it. That's, you don't know how this one's going to turn out. Bears still trail by a run, but showed a lot there coming in, trailing by 3, and just swinging and getting some hits and, putting themselves in a position to win. 2 runners in scoring position and none out. And Kaylee Travis, the slugger, the home run hitter. That's right. Her first career homer. Was that the first at bat of the game for Kaylee, too? Yes, that was her first at bat. Starting her junior year off right, and could end it today with a base knock. And actually, her home run came off of Ashlyn Kennedy. There you go. So the matchup is in favor of the Bears. But pretty much anything in play, for the most part, is at least going to tie this thing up, Joe. And but we're not looking for a tie. In weather like this, you're not playing for a tie in game 1 of the doubleheader. With runners at second and third, it's not impossible, but a double play isn't quite as likely. So you're going to have a couple of opportunities here. And
Now at bat, right fielder, number 7.
Ollie Hildebrand also homered in this game. She would be up next. And then you go to the top of the order, Savannah Moorfield.
And you're almost assured, to get a Savannah Moorfield at bat too, so that's huge. But for now, it's Travis at the dish. Waves at that one.
It's a good pitch by Kennedy. Nice breaking pitch off the plate. I mean, it was it looked like a strike till the very end.
Travis looking to be the hero for Lenoir-Rhyne. Avoid the upset from this Pfieffer Falcon squad. Grounds that one to the right side.
It's going to at least tie the score. Bryant holds up at third.
Oh, and she advanced
heads up
second.
play by Kaylee Travis.
Advancing to second on the throw. Kaylee Travis with the game-tying base hit. And we are tied at 6. Second and third, still nobody out. Garley Hildebrand next up for Lenoir-Rhyne.
And she has her first career home run, her first career hit at Lenoir-Rhyne. The home run back in the 4th inning, also walked in the 2nd. So she's got an opportunity to drive in the winning run here.
That one's in the dirt. 6 even. Garley Hildebrand. Really, Pfieffer is a worst-case scenario. They got to bring the infield in.
Well, and they're bringing, Coach Monty Sherrill's bringing the outfield in too. Because you take a one hopper that gets out there. I mean, you need they almost have to have a fly ball or a strikeout right here. It's going to be difficult. Anything to the outfield is, unless it's a fly ball, anything past the infield is going to win this game for Lenoir-Rhyne. Golly Hildebrand.
The right person for the job, but that one's going to be down low. One
freshman starting catcher for Lenoir-Rhyne.
1-0, 2-0 now after that pitch is in the dirt.
You think, well, there's a base open. Do you walk her? But you certainly don't want to pitch to Moorfield. You'd rather pitch to the true freshman.
Exactly.
And
Hildebrand.
That's nice shot to the shortstop. Oh.
Got her.
That's not a bad decision there at third base for Bryant not to go. I mean, it was a little bit of a bobble on the shortstop from the shortstop's end, but she had plenty of time. She's got the catcher running to first. Typically not your speediest runner, but one out now. But Savannah Moorfield at the plate.
Plus, you want to give Moorfield a shot, and are they going to walk or no? Just a conversation. Wasn't sure if they were doing the intentional walk or.
I think they're not at a point where they're going to intentionally walk. Not with
Lenoir
following her and then Talon.
You got one double play out of Lenoir. You're not getting another, and that one's outside. Moorfield, superstar center fielder for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Hit 484 last year. Just amazing.
Had a home opener home run, leadoff home run 2 years ago. No stranger to some fireworks on the home opener, but she
Kinda
went around
waved
on that
one.
one.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think she'd probably like to have that one back.
That one is outside.
No outside. 2-1 count to Savannah Moorfield. Peyton Bryant at third. Kaylee Travis at second. Scores tied at 6. Bears with a great opportunity here to push across this winning run. If Moorfield does walk, pressure does kind of mount on Kennedy, Ashlyn Kennedy, with Lynn Hart and potentially Talon LeClaire still to come up.
And that one's fouled out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count, Joe. Number 20 on the mentions of the full count.
It's got to be close. It has to be close. Oh, my goodness. I wonder how many pitches have been thrown in this game.
Yeah. Hopefully this is the last one. Let's see. Savannah Moorfield fouls it off.
So she's battling up there. Hit, of course, is the ball game, and depending on a fly ball, do you tag up your pitcher at third? Be a tough decision.
You know what? That's the sub we missed. That There's a pinch runner on third, and I'm not sure who that is, but it's not Peyton Bryant.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
and
there it is, a walk-off.
And it's a game-winning hit for Savannah Moorfield, and the Bears down 6-3. Coming into the bottom of the 7th, score 4 and get their first victory of the year. Wow, that was, got to say, it looked a little dire coming into the bottom half of the 7th, but what a great rally for Lenoir-Rhyne here. 4 straight hits to start the inning. 5 straight hits to start the inning, and then a walk-off single for Savannah Moorfield. And the Bears get their first win of the season.